And welcome, everyone. We are live. It's another Stack Your Live. It's Thursday, which means Stack Your Live. Joined by RJ. RJ, how are you today?
You know what? I am good. I've got some football on. I am also pulling up baseball because the Red Sox are currently playing, so I need to keep an eye on that. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Amazon has a pitcher-in-pitcher, so I can't put up both football and baseball at the same time, even though they're both on Amazon right now. So I'm multitasking.
There you go. Yeah, so we've got a theme for tonight. Our theme is fixing the big four? Big five? Yeah, I chose five. I'm silly.
We did go with five because we have sort of the three mid majors we're going to talk about, and then the two majors to put it into sports terms.
Absolutely. And those are like the two in the Premiership and three in Championship.
Yes.
Fighting.
I do have a question for the people before we start tonight. People of our chat, I have three options for the first thing I drink tonight. I have an A&W Zero Sugar, I have a Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, and I have a Coke Zero. I usually save the Coke Zero to close on as the closing beverage of the night. But should I start with the Dr. Pepper or the A&W? Please tell me what to open first, because I have all three with me tonight.
I mean, only one of these three does not have caffeine.
Matt, I go to bed at like 4 a.m. So I'm basically in the middle of my day. Caffeine is whatever.
I cracked open a C4, so what do you want from me?
I am immune. Let's see. We got some root beers. We do have an overabundance of root beer currently at the moment. Josh, you know what I do to rope this back to credit cards? I order my soda from Walmart Plus to have it delivered to me because they have the best soda selection, and I do not want to go to a Walmart. So I have my soda brought to me so I can maintain that. So one, I would drink regular soda, but I can't anymore. The sugar makes me physically ill. Like I can't just get a Coke or a Pepsi at a restaurant anymore. So I have to do the zero sugar, lest I be ill. So I do the Coke Zero, which is our members lounge. So if you go to stackyourpoints.com, you can join the Discord. And if you are a member of Stack Your Points, there is a members lounge at a certain level for which people can enjoy a different breed of conversation. We do some things that are just in there. Sometimes one of the mods will post something in there. One of the members will, and we'll have other discussions. So stackyourpoints.com. As Matt and I realize, sometimes when you say a website over and over and then try to say a different website over and over, you forget that second website's name.
We found that out the hard way. I have to see if I edited out that pause. Also, shout out to Ragres in the Coke Zero Lounge right now, especially for the Zero Sugar Baja Blast Mountain Dew selection. Excellent choice, sir.
That is a wonderful picture. I love us in the background with just the Mountain Dew kind of framed perfectly. That is a wonderful job. Yep. And Josh, yeah, look, we're all gonna die something. I might as well die of aspartame. It's fine.
I need acetylate potassium now in all of my diet drinks because it's just better.
All right, I let the chat speak. The overwhelming was the Dr. Pepper, or I'm sorry, was the root beer. So we're with the root beer. A&W to me is superior to Barks in the zero sugar arena. So we are going to go with the A&W.
A&W, though, not the best overall root beer.
What is your selection? Stewart's root beer is also very, very good to be a niche. Particular
way up there. IBC is probably my favorite root beer.
IBC is very good. Oh, Keith, no. Oh, Keith, no. I am so sorry, sir. That does not seem fun.
Hopefully, traveling somewhere nice.
I'm hoping for you. All right, Matt. Is there a zero sugar root beer out there? If so, yes, Josh. This is an A&W zero sugar.
But is it caffeinated?
I'm sorry. This is not caffeine. I don't know. Wi-Fi is failing me on Delta.
I know Balls makes a caffeinated root beer. We are going to go look that up.
So Double, it's really good. And this is going to be like, because I've talked about this. I've lost quite a bit of weight. What I have discovered is I have a Ninja Creamy. You can make ice cream out of like a really good protein shake. I add a little bit of zero sugar Jello to it for texture, but you can make ice cream out of it. If you make really good vanilla ice cream out of a really good like shake, make it ice cream, harden it, put it in a glass with zero sugar root beer. It makes an amazing root beer float, and you're getting protein. So that is my hack Are you wanting to take off, or did you just land? Oh, Keith, are you going up or are you coming back? I assume you're flying out, but I don't know. But yeah, I am not a cream soda aficionado. That was not my lane. I stay within my lane when it comes to beverages. And root beer, is it? Root beer, Dr. Pepper, and Coke Zero. Okay. I think we have officially warmed up the crowd, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. So our theme of the day is we are trying to fix the personal card lineups. We're going to start with the personal cards. Now, we know that each of these banks issue business cards. Some business cards we have, other business cards we may not have. I don't particularly do any Capital One business cards for instance. So we're going to focus on the personal cards. If you want to ask about business card changes that we would do, throw them in the questions. But we're looking at the personal lineups for American Express, Capital One, Chase, Wells Fargo, and Citi in no particular order. So we're going to go through the lineups as they're currently constructed, as you all know, and what changes we would make to those lineups if we had all the power.
Yes. And so to do a little bit of inside baseball, I did this as how to make a complete wallet setup. I did not do this to completely maximize everything. So I did not go for everything being 5x, right? Like I'm not going with nine new cards, everything 5x, everybody gets a custom cash. I did not do that. So from that perspective, I sort of filled out the lineup into how to make this a one issuer setup for your wallet to be able to cover sort of all of your bases. I think Matt and I talked before. I know Matt and I talked before. I think that's sort of his lane of how he did this, but we will show the differences. Matt knows what I did. I do not know what Matt did. So this is always exciting.
Indeed. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start at the top or do we want to work our way from the bottom?
Let's do reverse order. So let's start Wells Fargo, Cap One, Citi, and then we'll get into Amex and Chase, which I think is more of a head-to-head competitor than the other three.
Let's go for it.
So Matt, I went ambitious with Wells Fargo. So I want to go first, if I may. I know you're Mr. Wells Fargo, but for this one, I want to go first.
So moved, so ordered. I don't know. Yes.
Okay. So talking about Wells Fargo, Robert's Rules of Order is not how our podcast functions.
No.
I will warn you guys. I'm getting some latency from Matt. I don't know if that's me. I don't know if that's Matt. I don't know what's going on. So if I pause weirdly, it's because things have been special. Okay. So for currently the best I could find, and these are the categories I looked at. Catch-all is a 2x, groceries 2x, restaurants 3x, gas 3x, EV charging 3x, entertainment 4x, streaming 4x, drugstores 2x, general travel 3x, direct hotels 5, Direct Airline 4, Direct Transit 3X. For Wells Fargo, if you collect all of the cards and the $95 autograph journey, that is the best you can do as far as multipliers. My number one change I would make to Wells Fargo is to add partners people want. Now, that could be that is difficult, right? Like they can't add Hilton, they can't add Marriott, they can't add Delta, they can't add United. That's not going to happen for them. But there are some places they could add, some places that they might be able to modify things in a way to bring in a couple of partners. This is more Matt's lane than mine as to what specifically they might be able to bring in. But I do think they need to bring in partners that people care about because their base, and we'll get to the change I'll make to an actual card, but the base I think is strong with Wells Fargo. They and Citi kind of have the most coverage, and then it comes down to partners and other things. But my number one is just add partners people want. I assume you are on the same page with me there, Matt.
Yeah, number one thing Wells needs is another set of partnerships. They've got 2 Sky Team, they've got one World, they've got a couple of Star Alliance. Well, Avianca's a Star Alliance, and they've got 2 One Worlds. No, they just have Avios. So I want to see them add Air Canada. That would be a huge plus. You could look at some other options as well. Air India could be another way to get some really cheap United flights. Air India United flights are only 3,500 miles. So like getting that would be huge. Then you could be looking at going back to Sky Team. Vietnam Airlines could be cool. I'm looking at airlines that go across all of the major card issuers and also have been signing up with reward programs just left, right, and center. So they've already got Air France and KLM. They've got a set of Avios. They've got some others. So like Qatar would make a certain amount of sense. In the hotel space, they're going to have to patch this together with like bailing wire and spit at the moment. Like I Prefer is out there. Getting I Prefer would be interesting. They could take shots at the more luxury branded properties. And I don't know how much this would necessarily work, or like how a direct transfer in terms of points versus what that system is. But if they added like Omni hotels, there's not a ton of Omni hotels, but like Omni hotels could be an interesting setup, right? They could add I Prefer, obviously. If they add I Prefer, I need them to negotiate like Citi, and I don't need them to negotiate like Capital One, because negotiations with Capital One just seem to be, how drunk are you? Because you agree to the stupidest rates. I Prefer at 1 to 2 from Capital One when 1 to 4 is an option. Doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So they've got to follow Citi on that one. And then I don't want to see Wyndham. I want to see something new. I want to see something different. Leading Hotels Club would be interesting, but I don't think you're going to see that. And it would be the same like 5 to 1 with Citi. I don't think Wells Fargo is going to get a better deal than 5 to 1. So Omni, Friends of Mondarian, Mondarian Orange would be interesting.
Yeah, but Mondarian. I think you and I have had this conversation. I think if they can do interesting things in the portal, they don't necessarily need the partners that they can't get right now. Because right now the major partners are spoken for, right? Like you're not getting AA, you're not getting United, you're not getting Delta. So you have to be more creative. If they can't land those partnerships, they got to do some portal things. Portal things is not my on my bingo card for this, but it's an option, right? My second thing, to Clinton's point, is a premium card. Now, I did a premium card a little bit different in this case. I did Make the Beyond 2.5 times everything up to 25,000, and then make it 1.5 everything. And then give it travel perks like status, priority pass. And then I set that at $495 because I think they need it under where Platinum and CSR are. and then a little for 2.5 everything, it's got to be above where the Venture X is. And I think if they did that, if they could thread that needle, put a hard cap on the 2.5, because it needs a hard cap or people are just going to abuse it,
Mhm.
and then default it back to 1.5, because their lineup is really, really strong. Like especially with the Attune and with the Autograph and the Autograph Journey, you don't need that card to have insane high-end multipliers, because you have the $0 options for the multipliers for certain areas that you might want, and then you can just have it be a higher multiplier for everything else on your premium card with the perks. So for that, you now have 2.5 everything catch-all, 2.5 grocery, 2.5 drugstore, everything else stays the same, but then you get those perks from the Beyond.
That's definitely a move. Since they don't have a set airline partner, it's hard to see what they could do with airline status. Now, the Autograph Beyond launching with like you're looking at Choice, and would you be looking at like Choice? What level of status does the $95 Choice card come with? Platinum. So you could launch a $495 card.
Platinum. I mean, the difference in choice statuses between Platinum and Diamond isn't huge, but if they could land, for what I'm proposing, landing Diamond makes sense.
Okay. So we could say Diamond. Diamond and Platinum probably don't make it. It's a distinction without a difference. So whatever. We could do that $495. That's fine. That earning structure is interesting. I personally would do their same 5x or bigger hotel and airline earnings than the Journey. The Journey's already at 5. If 6 hotel was sustainable and 5 direct airline was sustainable, maybe do that. And then I would do a mobile wallet category up to, I want to do more than US Bank, because US Bank is now cutting back to 5,000. But I don't think that you can do an unlimited, even if you don't necessarily do a portal redemption option or an RTR, maybe 7,500 a month at 3x. So now you've got a good chunk of your grocery now at 3x. You've got a good chunk of like everything that was 2x is now 3x, and everything that was 3x can stay 3x. But 7,500 a month, 3x on mobile wallet, 6 times hotel, 5 times flights, $495 flight, $495 annual fee. And Wells Fargo's travel protections were somewhere between Chase and Citi's. So the closer to Chase you can get, because Chase is is sort of considered the gold standard with travel insurances. They're not as well understood, but they do cover a lot of things.
The problem with travel insurance is nobody actually knows what it covers, and nobody knows how you have to pay to actually have it cover. Like, yeah. I don't have a problem with people wanting travel insurance. I absolutely don't. I totally get why people want travel insurance. And if you understand how it works, I believe you when you tell me that. Most people don't. Like, most people just fundamentally do not understand how travel insurance works.
Right.
Thank you, Texas Dog, for the $1.99.
$1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, I also, Clinton reviews the terms. A great use for large language models would be just throwing the terms in there and just saying, explain this to me like I'm 5. They can do that.
Yeah, it can. I use ChatGPT quite a lot for just like, here's some credit card like numbers and facts and things, like just collate this for me. It's great as a little assistant, because SYP does not have resources to hire an intern. We're working on it, guys, but we don't have intern money yet.
Yeah, if Wells could adopt something like that, make sure that their insurances cover things, cover as much with as little paid, that would be great. I know that would be, expensive, but if you're not balling out on multipliers, because they don't necessarily need to ball out on multipliers, being really, really good and really competent at insurance when insurance is needed would be sweet. I'd also expect, rental car status. Rental car status doesn't mean a lot, but like it can be super useful.
No.
So
it's a nice thing to throw on there.
yeah. Like, I don't know what we would expect because I guess if they could do leading hotel club Sterling status, which isn't much different than leading hotel's regular status, but the platinum got it, so why not? That would be interesting. And leading hotels club is not a American Express transfer partner yet. It's very interesting that they have status, but they don't have transfer capabilities. So that could be interesting, or that's just like a one-off, like the Centurion has IHG Diamond.
Yeah, it may be a one-off. It may just be like we're working on it. Like we just haven't hammered the details out, but it's coming.
Yeah, and Amex hasn't added a transfer partner, and no, the last one they added was Qatar about 3 or 4 years ago. So it's been a little while, but it's not been as long as, say, Chase. So
double gifting a membership, giving Matt something extra to do on Monday.
Hooray! I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, the journey should be, if the journey is anywhere from $495 to, if it's $495 or $595, solid insurances, be really good at insurance, have at least one hotel status, preferably Choice, Platinum, or Diamond. Maybe they get another hotel transfer partner, and they can get status with that. But we'll have to see. It doesn't have to do a lot, but it does have to. It's got to be a card that folks who don't want to pay $8.95 and who are disaffected by $7.95 and have no interest in American Airlines have to be interested in. And I understand that is more and more of a niche as I went down that list. But there are people out there who are looking for an alternative to the Sapphire Reserve now that it's $7.95 and have no interest in flying AA.
Yeah. MR, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of travel insurance, like just on my cards. I activate the Amex rental car insurance, but I don't necessarily think that it covers what people think it covers. I'll say that. Also, Mike, 5 memberships, really putting Matt to work next week. Sir, we appreciate it. Thank you.
More.
And yes, double. I also, if I'm going to get travel insurance, I'm going to purchase it separately.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike, for the 5 gifted memberships. And thank you, Double for the gifted membership. So thank you. That I think Double gifted Mike the membership, and Mike has passed it forward. That would be incredible. So Wells, not a lot of work to do. Like, the autograph is a great card. The active cash is a pretty great card. Like, the only other thing I would do with the active cash is lift the foreign transaction fee on it, because then you have a very powerful, no annual fee, travel the world setup.
Yeah, with my setup, because I'm going to 2.5 everything on the Beyond, and then 1.5, I didn't include that, but I feel you. The Beyond would not have foreign transaction fees because that would just be silly.
No. So I like your initial ideas. I think a Beyond setup of like taking the autograph journey and going further with hotels and direct flights is probably where they're going to end up going. But 2.5 everything up to 25,000 and spend, that's really good.
The reason I didn't is because the journey is such a good card. I feel like if you just go up by 1, you're kind of just eating its lunch, and then it becomes a card that nobody wants. And I feel like making it a card nobody wants is sad because it's a good card. So that was a little bit of, I guess, maternalism of like, I like this. I don't have this card. I like it. So I want it to be there.
You just don't want to venture it.
Yeah, I don't want to venture it. Hey, nice. Okay. Do you want to do Cap One or Citi next, Matt?
Well, you didn't really touch Citi, so let's talk about Citi.
Okay. I didn't actually change the multipliers on Citi at all. So looking at it, catch-alls 2, groceries, restaurant 3, gas and EV charging 3, entertainment and drugstores 2. I did put the custom cache on streaming at 5 just because that was a weak link, so I used the custom cache then. And then general travel, direct hotels, airline, and transit are all 3. My first one is my first change, and people are going to hate it. You cannot product change to a custom cache. You cannot do it. You cannot, you will not, you shall not. There is no custom cache product changing. That was my number 1. No more. No more, Citi. No more. And then fix your customer service and fraud detection, because having 10%, 15% of people complaining constantly about this is a problem. So fix that, and then fix Apple and Google Pay, which is related to number 2, but distinct. Like, I don't think they need to change the multipliers at all. I don't think they need to touch a single thing on their multiplier side. I think it's all things like the custom cache issue and customer service and the mobile wallet issue.
With their core cards, my only issue with the core cards is it doesn't make sense to hold all 4 between the custom cache, the double cache, the custom cache, the double cache, the Strata Premier, Strata Elite. Sorry, all 5. It doesn't make sense to hold all 5 of those. So, I think your best setups with Citi is either going Strata Elite and Strata, and don't worry about the double cache, because you're going to get pretty much everything covered by an elevated multiplier somewhere. And then you could do the Strata Premier and the double cache as a solid 1-2 setup. The only thing I think Citi needs to work on, honestly, besides their customer service and fixing Google and Apple Pay and, looking at their cards the wrong way, triggering a fraud alert, would be the American Airlines lineup once we get an idea of once they convert over.
So I did not touch co-brands. I absolutely agree, though. If I were looking at the co-brand lineups, I would agree. Yeah, that AA lineup is gonna need some work. Jason, I think the problem is that if not broken now, and I think it is actually broken now, it's going to be constantly gamified going forward. And I think that's going to break other things. So it absolutely is a handful of degenerates. The problem is the more people see that possible, and now that they have AA, the more it's going to become a problem. So for me personally, I want to just nip that in the bud. I think you should get a custom cache if you want. I don't think you should have 12 or 7 or 5. I would not modify. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I would make it local time. I would make it 6 to 12 or whatever local time. That's how I would change City Nights.
I still think City Nights is dumb.
It's such good marketing, though, Matt. You cannot tell me it's not good marketing.
It's fine marketing. Like, yes, it's cute. It's chintzy. It's whatever. It's going to get annoying when you know what? I'm never going to hold the card, so I don't care. Have your cake, eat it too.
Yeah, like that is something we'll talk about, Double, because we'll talk about it as we go on, because I didn't leave anybody as a catch-all at 1. So there we go. And also, yeah, Clinton, if they could enforce that rule that they made themselves, that'd be great. But like, here's the thing, for as much as I don't like Citi for my own personal use, I understand why people like Citi, especially with AA. Like, if you're an AA person and you like any of their hotel partners, like, you're good. Like, you have the coverage you want. I didn't have to touch anything. And if you're not a streamer, you can put that 5X in a lot of other places. Like, it is a solid lineup. Like, the one thing you cannot say about Citi is they do not have coverage.
Yeah. No, they've got everything covered at a pretty decent clip across the board. Like, you're getting a minimum of 2 with the double cache, but you can, depending on your custom cash, depending on your spend, yeah, you could have a custom cash fill in somewhere else, but like a flat 3 on groceries, gas, dining is really, really good. Streaming entertainment can be 3. Well, direct entertainment's a little bit hazy, but whatever. Travel at 3 is good. Direct airlines and hotels 3 is the minimum acceptable, so you're good there. And the Strata picking up transit was not a bad play. So, like, it's the newest and most like set up lineup, so there's not a whole lot to correct for. But Citi still has Citi problems.
And just so you guys know, the annual fee at the bottom is not every annual fee card they have, just the ones I used for the particular multipliers. I do think I used most of the bank transfer cards for all of them, but that is what that number is. And then if I make any changes, that is what the annual fee goes to, just for clarity.
Yeah, it's $5.95 plus 95, so you're good there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't actually think Citi needs to do a whole bunch. I think Citi just needs to fix some things on the back end.
Yeah, Citi needs to be like a big boy bank for once.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Matt, you ready to go to the one I changed the absolute most?
Are we talking Cap 1?
We are talking Cap 1.
One moment. Let's pull them up.
I'm really glad I sent you these screenshots because I was like, I should make them pretty before I send them. No, he's not going to use them. It's fine. At least I like centered things. At least I have things centered.
That's fine.
It works. So I made a lot of changes to Cap 1. I went hard. I went hard with Cap 1, Matt.
I see this.
The first thing is they need to have the Venture and the Venture X be different cards. They do. They need them to be not the same card, but with travel credit. Like that has to happen, in my opinion. I am leaving the Venture as a 2x card. I am making the Venture X a higher travel multiplier card with 3x general travel, 4x on hotels and airlines directly. And then I misspelled lounge access because it cut me off. So lounge access is just add that back in, add it in properly. So that would be how I would differentiate the Venture and the Venture X for that. And then the Saver, we had reports it was like $2.95. I kept that because I went 4x groceries, restaurants, and EV and gas, and then keep the current Saver at $0. So that's how I would arrange it. It is a very different system, but they have to differentiate the Venture and the Venture X at some point. And this is how I think they should do it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. So you've got your Saver X is $2.95, groceries, restaurants, gas, EV at 4x. So that's pretty hefty. I'm curious what that card would look like in terms of the stupid credits they'd throw on there. I know they had like an Apple TV credit and they had a Uber One credit mentioned in the survey that was sent out. I don't know that that'd be enough, but it'd be something. Venture as the 2x card is fine. Paying for the 2x base feels wrong, but like it's Capital One that you've always had to pay for the 2x base, so that's the price of admission. Venture X going to $5.95 sure would be interesting, especially if they added 3x travel, 4x hotels and airlines, and kept their portal multipliers. I would want to see more from the Venture X in terms of not just the lounge access being restored to what it was, and you can do that when you're charging $200 more a pop. I'm curious what else you would do with the Venture X in terms of like you'd have the $300 travel coupon in the portal. What else would it be getting?
Putting the lounge access back, the priority pass with the guest access, and then restaurants. That I to be fair, I did not go into credits, right? Like I did not gamify like this card should have these credits to offset the thing. I was looking at more coverage. I did look at the Beyond because that is a brand new card. Yeah. But I did not, for the Venture X, I just full of disclosure, I did not look into what else. Something like an Uber or a Lyft credit, something even just Uber One, Lyft Pink, whatever. And yes, double, I would bring it up to $5.95. Because you have, like, if you're doing what I'm proposing, you kind of have to bring it up. It's not going to stay where it is. So yeah, I would bring it up to the $5.95 and then go from there. But I think they have to differentiate the Venture and the Venture X. I think if you're going to do it, make the Venture X the card that is for travel specifically,
Yep.
and add in things like the priority pass restaurants that everybody lost their mind when they, removed, even if half the people probably didn't use it.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. For the Venture X, I don't know that I would go. I like your idea. I do think that giving it general travel and maybe hotel specific stuff, even a higher general travel category, because if they just did 4x general travel and 2x everything else, then you don't need the Venture. Like, you still wouldn't need the Venture, but going to like $600 or $700 would be interesting.
Yeah, I think that is just too. I think that's too much, personally, to do 2x and 4x, but that's me.
Yeah, and a saver at $295, going harder into 4x, like, it would make the system pretty interesting. Venture X that has what Wyndham Platinum or Wyndham Diamond would be super valuable, and then they just added I prefer, and
you can put choice on there.
Yeah.
And Sleepy Rod, to answer your question, my beef is not with the card. Like, I don't have a problem with the card. I have a problem with how people abuse the card. Like, the card itself is fine. I have zero problem with the custom cash as a card.
Yeah, and if Amex or Wells Fargo had a card like that, folks would definitely add those into their wallets. You know what Wells Fargo and American Express would do to prevent rampant abuse on those cards? Enforce their rules.
Yeah. More lounges would also be great. I cannot make space in lounges, so I did not go with. But yes, also, Kid, I'm sorry. Like, I am sorry we're doing cool stuff. Maybe that's on you for not being here tonight, sir. I don't know.
And MR ORD, I know they just broke ground on their new concourse at ORD. I think it's finally going to get credit card lounges, but I don't know which ones. I'm assuming all of the big three that have lounge networks are going to be pushing hard to get in there.
Stack your points. The only podcast the co-hosts give super chats to each other for the lives.
Yep.
Also, thank you, Kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Kid. I've raised this issue on several chats. Obviously, I'm alone, but I think the new MX Platinum is fragile, thin, and scratch magnet. So I saw Richie the CEO's. Richie's been in several Discords. He has a channel right now. He put out a short right now on yesterday unboxing, unenveloping the new Platinum card. I personally don't like the look of it. I think it's like, I thought I would like it better looking at it in video. I don't.
Mine should be here tomorrow or Saturday. It will be here one of those 2 days. So I will be able to better articulate my feelings on the card once I have it in my hands. Because sometimes seeing something and physically holding it are very different experiences.
Yeah.
So once I have it, I'll have it before the next SYP. Actually, I should get it tomorrow because it's at my carrier facility today. So I should have it tomorrow. I will definitely talk about it Monday.
Oh, that's fair. And James, we have screenshots of RJ running through a spreadsheet for each of the major carriers. So this would be proposed changes to Capital One. Her proposed changes to Capital One.
Yes, I did them this way because I was like, I could just type up notes, but I need to see what I have done. So I sent them to Matt, and he is using them as a visual aid. Yeah, no, there's going to be. Here's the thing with the platinum is most people don't actually use it a ton, like taking it out of their wallet. So I'm gonna take a cloth that I use for my glasses, very carefully mirror polish it, and then stick it in my backup wallet, put it in my backpack, and then it won't be touched for months physically. So we're good.
I'm sorry, if you have a credit card that you need to put in a baseball card carrier to not get smudges on it, you failed.
Also, if I hate it, I'll just switch the design back. Like, they don't charge you for the design.
No, they don't.
Look, green card is a great card. I'm just happy that Amex is giving it a little bit of love and giving it up to a 60K offer because it is a great card. I know you're probably just getting it for the sub, but it's a legitimately very good card. I've gotten it twice.
Also, remember it is bound to family rules. So if you've previously gotten a gold or platinum, you may be SOL.
Yeah. Ooh. Now I'm just thinking of a side hustle where I make screen protectors for platinum cards.
If you need a D brand for your platinum card, you messed up.
You can get a D brand for your Apple card though. Like you legitimately can. I wonder if somebody could get that and just like manually cut out the chip.
Why isn't it already cut out? Oh, because you don't use your Apple card.
It's in a different spot.
Oh, well, that's fair.
It's in a different spot, so you would have to recut it.
Good job, Sleepy Rod.
My green card should be here at some point. It's not showing up yet in my account, but when I go to the Amex website, it's like your card and it's a green card. So they know I have applied for it. They know I have been approved for it, but I do not have it in my Amex account yet. Josh, if you get the green card simply for 60,000 MR points just to cash them out, I respect your hustle, sir, but I will be sad. Okay, Matt, are we going to go Amex next or are we going to go Chase next? What is your poison, sir?
Next screen. My next screen is Amex. So let's do Amex. So we're going to bring up Amex now, I think. Should be. Okay. And holy annual fee, Batman.
Yeah. Would you change anything about Capital One partners? I don't. No.
No, they're fine now. They just added JAL. They just added I prefer. I would make the I prefer rate because, don't negotiate when drunk. I would make the I prefer rate the same as Citi's, 1 to 4. But landing JAL is cool. Qatar is an interesting play, but I mean, an Avios, as I like to say, an Avios is an Avios. So as long as you have one Avios system, you're good. But adding Qatar isn't the worst play. JAL is going to be the big player there, and they're doing that 30% bonus. It sucks that JAL is 4 to 3.
Yeah. So I've changed Amex ever so lovingly because look, I have a lot of Amex cards. I've had every single business and personal church card that Amex currently offers that is not invitation only. I like my Amex cards because I like the partners and I like the perks and whatever. They are not perfect. No credit card company is perfect. They are ambivalent at best, evil at worst. Amex needs some changes. First, they need a personal 2X card. They just do. They need a personal 2X card. They need a Blue Business Plus without the business. Like they do. I did not name it. I think it's going to be Catalyst because Catalyst is the start of a reaction. Matt and I disagree on if they do a no or low annual fee card, what it will be called. I think it's going to be Catalyst. I also want to put a card between the green and the gold focused on, quote, everyday spend. So gas, EV, entertainment, and streaming for 3X. And I want to take their cashback cards and either get rid of them or make them a 2-to-1 cashback to MR. So if you have $2 of cashback, you will get 1 MR point. Is it a great transfer rate? No. But does it give somebody who has a blue cash every day that they don't want to just use that as a credit to have something to do? Sure. And it would keep the 6% on the blue cash preferred to a 3 MR point, so it wouldn't completely nuke like transfer ratios or whatever. I think they probably should just get rid of cashback because they're not a cashback company. But if they're going to do it, they're going to do something like 2-to-1. I don't think they would ever do 1-to-1. So that's why I said 2-to-1. 1-to-1 would be great, but
I'd be
I
amazed
don't
if
think
they
it'll
did.
happen.
I'd be
Yeah.
amazed if they did 1-to-1. 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 is what I would expect them to do if they were going to do cashback to MR points, because they don't do like traditional cashback. They do member reward dollars that you can cash out for a statement credit. But if you aren't interested in statement credits, you're just going to let that pile up, which is not good.
Right.
I like your idea of a new card in between the green and the gold. Depending on what the green refresh is, though, I don't know that the 250. I don't know that it's gonna. Well, it's got to be.
I went with current prices.
You get one with current
because we don't know what it's going to be, right? Like the refresh, we don't know yet, and there hasn't been any real leaks for the green. So I had to go with current pricing, which is why I did go with current pricing. Also, thank you very much, sir, for the $1.99 super chat.
Thank you, son. I think so. I want to see direct hotels and direct airlines. I like that you did that. So you kept direct hotels at 3 with a general travel card, or with what card is giving you 3x? Oh no, I'm sorry, that's the green.
The green. I don't think you need higher than what they currently have on the travel side. Would I like direct hotels? Yes, but to change the platinum or the green in that way is going to make that 1620 closer to 2000.
Probably. And they did just do the platinum.
I want to focus in other places.
Yeah, that's fair. I think an everyday card and a 2x card would make a certain amount of sense. I just don't know that Amex would want to do it. I could certainly see them going to 1.5 catch-all at minimum.
I think so. Here's the thing that Amex is going to have to deal with, right? Is they want to get Gen Z, the alphas, in a couple of years, right? Like, yes, they're aspirational, but those groups are not traveling the same way that even the millennials and Gen X did. So yes, travel is good, and having strong travel multipliers is good, and having the perks on the platinum are helpful, but you have to do something in a way where it's not just food, travel, or travel. Like, you have to have something else. And I think having that card between green and gold, I'm open for suggestions of what color you guys think it should be. I couldn't quite figure out what color I wanted. I wanted to go cobalt, but I didn't want to completely rip off Canada. But I think you have to. I think you need another card. You need another color in their rainbow to fill in their lineup. Because even on the business side, some of those categories are not really tended to. Like we did just personal, but even the business side, like EV charging is not covered by any Amex card other than the Blue Business Plus at General 2X.
Right. I think you'd be looking for an amethyst card.
Amethyst would be good. I would be happy with an amethyst. A little bit wordy, but works. But yeah, I think if you did this, and look, I did 250 because Amex is not going to do it for cheap, right? Like, it's between the current green and gold. So that's why I went with that price. And it's going to go up because it's Amex. So I think they could position that card. It's a high enough annual fee to cover what it is, but it's a low enough annual fee that somebody who's 21 might get it and then be like, oh, I can get the gold card. And well, I'll get the green card too, because I do travel, and then, get the platinum. So I think they need that entry point. Like, that's why I want to rip the cobalt off, because I think it's a good entry point.
And it would cover streaming.
Yes.
I mean, for me, the biggest thing is just getting a 2X card in there. Like this everyday card is intriguing, but I think just getting a personal 2X card is all Amex really needs at the moment. And they could even do
Yes.
2X up to 25,000. Not even go
Like,
to
I think
50. Sorry.
I think that a 2X card absolutely is the most necessary thing. I think for the marketing department, they're gonna want something a little juicy that they can spin. A 2X card is harder for the marketing team at Amex than here's your lifestyle. Here's your everyday card. Here's your lifestyle card. Like, you eat food and have entertainment needs, or I'm sorry, you fill up your car with dinosaur juice and have entertainment and streaming needs. Here you go. And also it has a Resi credit.
250 annual fee, 640 in credits that are just quarterly. That's the one they do the weekly credit on.
Yeah.
That's how they'd get you.
It's a $20 weekly, or it's a $10 weekly credit for Resi, but only between the hours of 9 and midnight.
That just made me nauseous.
Here's the thing. Amex is not that pedantic, right? Like, Amex is a lot of things. They're not quite that pedantic.
Yeah, don't give them ideas. Premium personal cards like the Venture X, though, is that they are tied to their business counterparts, so there is inertia there making change hard. Yeah, but that's a choice by Capital One. And it's an understandable choice, but
they don't have to have them be the same. Like, the gold card and the business gold card are not the same cards. I think the green card is too entrenched. Like, you also lose a lot. I would be unhappy if that's what they did.
I wouldn't necessarily think it was a bad thing, just because the last refresh on the green, when they refreshed the green last, is when they implemented the 3-3-1. So if they redid it again to be the 2X personal at 190, the problem would be it will be a 2X personal at 195.
Yeah, like, that's what I mean. It's
that's
like you can't make a 2X personal unless you uncapped it. But then that's a small percentage of people are going to actually pay 195 when they can get the Blue Business Plus.
Yes, that is very true. But that's a small percentage of people. Amex knows how to pull at your emotions better than the other credit card companies.
As somebody with that card, I would be unhappy. Like, I would be unhappy.
But the Blue Business Plus exists. If you're somebody who doesn't know the Blue Business Plus exists, and for whatever reason isn't interested in credit cards,
even if I didn't have the Blue Business Plus, I would not do 195 for a 2X catch-all unless the credit is like, here's a $300 travel credit. Or they give you FHR. Like, they would have to do something substantial.
People sign up for the credits anyway.
Speaking of everybody's favorite issuer, Matt, you ready to tackle Chase?
Yeah.
I think I was fairly reasonable on this one.
This one's reasonable. I'm still torn on what to do with Chase, but you went with the Freedom Unlimited going to flat 2X. Cool. CSP gets groceries and travel at 3X for $295, and then Flex and the current CSR remain untouched. So you're going to have that you're going to have that rotating category, whatever that rotating category is. You would use the Flex for that quarter. I still think they need to raise the quarterly cap from $1,500 to $2,500 at least.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I don't have any beef with your position there.
I personally would go even higher, but 2,500 and spend in 3 months, sure, whatever, that's fine. I personally wouldn't mind seeing the CSP. Like if the CSP is going to go all the way up to 295, go a little bit higher and tack on gas, grocery, travel at all 3x.
I mean,
now,
yes, but if you're doing 2x, like I get it, but I don't think going higher than 295 as the annual fee is going to work. Like not without putting a sapphire in. Like you've got to have something. You've got to have something lower.
I mean, there's definitely room either. So Chase is either going to move the Sapphire Preferred up, or there's room for another Sapphire card in the lineup. Because at $795 and $95, there's a $700 delta, and there's room to put in a new card somewhere.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I just don't know what that looks like.
I would take off dining and drugstores from the CFU. Like I would keep it on the flex. I would take it off the CFU because it doesn't need it. If it's going to 2x everything, it doesn't need it.
Yeah, every Chase card does not need dining.
Yeah.
What does that like third Sapphire look like? I think I've done speculation stations on this before where I turned that where I turned like the $95 Sapphire. I got rid of groceries on it. I just made it, sort of I don't even know what that looks like if I took that off. But there is a part of me that's like, if you're going to go after Amex, really go after Amex and set your sights on the gold. A UR earning card that is the same as the gold is a card that would need to be reckoned with by American Express.
Yes. But these especially Chase and Amex, they seem to not like they're almost too big at that point to go directly at each other.
Yeah, which is why you need a third company coming in and like really throwing weight around. And this is where Citi sort of lost the script, where their big Kahuna card should have been a card that was taking on the Sapphire Reserve and the Platinum. And I say that because they landed the plane. Like in a world where they don't land the plane, Strat Elite is perfectly cromulent, to borrow from Dugras. Like it's just fine, right? In a world where you've landed the plane and you have American Airlines and you have that behemoth with you, throw a punch.
Yeah. This is interesting. It depends on where Hyatt goes. Because if Hyatt just goes to Amex, then it's game over. If Hyatt goes to Wells Fargo, I think it's a much more interesting time.
If Chase were to lose Hyatt right now, the number one bank that I would expect to pick up Hyatt would be Citi. And that's because of the very tight relationship that Hyatt and American Airlines have.
Yes.
So Citi makes the most sense. Wells should be bidding like there's no tomorrow if Hyatt suddenly became a free agent. I don't know what would lead to the breakdown in that relationship in any way, shape, or form. But if Chase were to lose Hyatt, Wells would have to be punching people out to get to the front of the line. I assume they would go to Citi, but that's just me. Improvements that I would make in the Chase system right now, I'd be looking at, they've got to keep growing the edit. You don't have to change the Sapphire Reserve to grow the edit. They've got to figure out what they're going to do with Points Boost, because Points Boost being funded by the sites is a good little revenue play to make some money. Given that American Express just punched you in the face without having to do anything, like they kept everything the same and they just slapped FHR, they tripled FHR. You kind of can't be in let's make some money mode. You got to go back to losing money on the Sapphire Reserve, and you got to go back to trying to put yourself back into mindshare. So I think the 1.5 will come back, and guaranteed 1.5 is better then almost every hotel system cent per point rating. Like Hyatt cent per point dropped after they lost SLH. Or
Right.
yeah, SLH. Because Mr. and Mrs. Smith took it and took Hyatt and pulled them into the undertow. So having that guaranteed 1.5 and having that guaranteed 1.5 at Hyatt still would be great, especially if you're able to get your status reflected and getting all of these other things without the edit and potentially Chase Travel are going to do. Like if Chase Travel became the travel network, the travel agency online that allowed you to get everything recognized as a cash booking with all of the hotels, all of the airlines, and all of the cruises, that's the win. That's the way they win.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Do I know? Maybe. I don't think they're chomping at the bit, but maybe.
I don't know what so with Lufthansa doesn't directly sell airline miles in the United States because of laws in Germany. And I don't know if they're able to become transfer partners because of those same laws and the effects of selling points directly. It's got to do with German customer protections. So they are bound, like when you see Lufthansa selling miles and more miles, they're packaging it with like Hertz discounts or Hertz status or their small world options where you can buy big swaths of Lufthansa miles and more, but you can't just get the miles and not have to worry about everything else. They package it together with a bunch of other things. But then there's the Lufthansa card from Barclays. So I don't know. And that card's not good.
Hey, if Korean Air is your jam, I hope you have it. Nobody wants to make an Amex Gold competitor. Like it seems like nobody wants to go directly for the gold,
which is dumb. Capital One comes the closest, and if there's going to be a bank that'll do it, it will be this rumored Sabre X. I imagine that's going to be 4X and 4X, restaurant and grocery, because all Capital One is really good at is taking their no annual fee cards and making them stupid, making them pointless.
Yeah.
Or taking their $95 annual fee cards and making them absolutely pointless.
Yes. I did ask the chat earlier if they had any suggestions because we were doing this topic. Chase needs a 2x catch-all after gutting 1.5 and 1.25 for the redemptions. We covered that. Get the Apple Card they're purchasing to convert into UR points at its current rate. That would be interesting because then you would have Apple Pay at 2x, but also I wonder if, like, do they want Apple Pay at 2x, but Google Pay at 1x? You know what I mean? Like, that might be a little weird, but it's Chase.
Well, the Apple Pay isn't on Android phones, so it really wouldn't matter.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, you would have a two-tiered system. If you have an iPhone, you could get 2x everything. If you don't have an iPhone, you can't.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think Chase would care. But that is a fair question.
Let's see. Turn the Discover into a Cap One mile earning card, or have the Venture card just like the Saver Quicksilver. We talked about that and that. Is there a way for the everyday and everyday preferred to come back? I do think they're going to come back. I just don't know what they're going to come back as. I really wish that multiplier for transactions would come back, but oh well.
Adding that to the Platinum would have been amazing.
That would have been great. That would have been smart. I can't imagine adding gas or groceries since they love to have it. I think eventually you just got to put groceries in a card.
Yeah, and it can be the Sapphire Preferred because you already have the Sapphire Preferred with online grocery. Just take the online away and everybody loves the Sapphire Preferred again.
So the Sapphire Preferred, that only works for certain stores. And it'll work for a large percentage of people, but it is not a guarantee.
Well, yeah, you've got to do, if you do Kroger Pay, if you do Publix has their app you can pay through, if you pay through the app, through your grocery store's apps, that's great. That means your grocery store has to have a reasonable way to do it online through their app. HEB, for example, is stuck in the 1920s. Shout out to Tariq for reminding us their technological issues. Then what was that?
I was pointing at doubles.
Oh yeah. Tops, I don't know what Tops looks like. I don't know. Like, you've got to go through Albertson setup. You've got to go through Kroger setup. You got to go through Giant setup. You got to go through, like, if the major corporations behind the grocery stores have something capable, you're good. Kroger is the largest grocer in the country. And they own so many brands. I think Albertsons is right behind them. And behind that would be like Giant or Publix. And if they have a competent app, great. If they don't have competent IT, then you're screwed. Or you're someone who does your grocery shopping for, that fresh produce at a non-chain store.
I mean, I use Hannaford because I'm in the northeast of the U.S. and there's not the same way to pay. Like, I could do mileage plus X, but there's not a way for me to pay in the same way.
Mark, I know those mailers can be tempting, but if you're not ready, they could offer you 1 million points if you're not ready to go jump into Amex.
So, Matt, I have pulled up the largest grocery chains in the U.S.
Yep.
Number 1 is Walmart. Number 2 is Costco. Number 3 is Kroger. Number 4 is Walgreens. And number 5 is CVS Health. They are considering CVS
and Walgreens grocers.
Yeah. Albertsons is 6. Sam's Club is 7.
Yeah, but Sam's Club is Walmart. So why is Sam's Club? Whatever. Where does...
They are separate on paper.
Yeah, okay. Doesn't work for Meijer, which is why the CSP just kind of was never been a viable option, despite having no limit for online groceries. This is why I'm tempted to just go full DoorDash and Instacart, because everything's covered that way. You gotta pay money, but
not every place. Like, I couldn't get that. I know some other people in some actual like urban places also have issues with that. Would you change any? I don't care about sign-up bonuses. No. I know it sounds terrible. I don't that's not why I do credit cards. I don't care.
Sign-up bonuses are variable. Sign-up bonuses are mostly going to be handled by the marketing teams, and it's based on like where credit card sign-ups are, and like, are they looking to do where they need to pick up card numbers. Like, they have a set number of whatever that makes things profitable for them at the end of the day. Like, they have their targets, and if you're not hitting your target, you have to change the welcome offer. And that's why like they'll come around with quarterly, or like they anticipate when there's going to be drop off on cards, so that's when they kick in like the Chase 90K Ink Unlimited Ink Cash. They'll kick that in like quarter 3, because they expect that business revenue to be up in quarter 4 and quarter 1. So that's why they set it up that way. Right now, the Sapphire Reserve is hurting for welcome offers for people signing up for it, because people aren't really happy with it. That's why it went from 100,000 up to 125,000. Like, the next number we may see, if it drops, it means that things are starting to improve with the Sapphire Reserve. If you see 175 or 225, things are real bad.
Yes. Yeah, surcharges are a thing. Like, all of these companies use algorithms to price things at this point. Like, how likely are you to need the thing?
Dynamic pricing is upon us. It's just going to be everywhere. Like, capitalism's a word, and yeah, dynamic pricing is upon us. It's just going to be a question of how willing you are to play around and play along.
QC man, the sub is not the first thing I look at. Like, I will hit my minimum spend if I have a sub on a card, but I've also gotten several cards without subs. Like, it is not the primary motivator. It is not my primary motivator. Like, full out. Matt knows this. He and I have had many conversations on it. It is a factor. It is not my primary motivator.
Yeah. I would love to get subs across the board. Just the welcome offer is the problem is, what does year 2 look like?
Yeah.
Like if your plan for the card is I'm going to get the welcome offer and in year 2 I'm canceling regardless, the sub is the most important thing. Worry about the sub. If it's how is this card going to fit in my life after year 1? How do I game out years 2, 3, 4, and 5? Then, you can take a little bit back from the sub. So like 75 versus 60 doesn't matter if you're holding this card for 5 years because you're going to generate more than the delta of that welcome offer. If you're only holding it for 1 year, you need to maximize that welcome offer. So
right.
The thinking is just going to be a little bit different. If you're going to plan on holding a card for ever, like it just is going to be a forever card, it's a keeper card, it works for however long you're going to be in that system, like an IHG card pre any sort of IHG nerf. Not that I know of any IHG nerf upcoming, but if you plan on getting the IHG Premier and you want the IHG Premier to be like the thing for you, you don't care about the welcome offer if you're holding it for 10 years. Because you're going to put enough spend on it every year to negate it.
Look, I get it. I'm not suggesting everyone do this. I am telling you what my personal philosophy is. Personally, I care less about subs at this stage because there are other ways for me to do things. Like I use Rakuten pretty heavily, especially when I am able to. Like if I need points for something, right? Like I know I'm going to need points in 6 months. So I'll hit Rakuten a little heavier. Like I do that instead of sub hunting with Amex because I rather buy something I need or want or that gives me points and control it versus like try to get a sub.
Now, what I will say, if you're going into a new ecosystem, a brand new ecosystem, grab all the subs you can in that ecosystem. Like if you are going brand new to Chase, get your maximum sub on the Sapphire Preferred, get your maximum sub on get your maximum sub on a Freedom Unlimited, on a Freedom Flex, on an Ink if you're going into the business card side of things. Like maximize your subs. Absolutely. If you're going brand new whole hog into a transfer currency or brand new whole hog into a co-brand, grab as many welcome offers in that co-brand as you can. Like build your stash. Absolutely. But it's not going to be the be all end all. Like you can get the Blue Business Plus when it's a 15,000 point welcome offer and skip that welcome offer because of the utility that the card can give you, especially if you are attaching it to Rakuten. And
it's also I am in one bank system right now. Like I am in a single bank system. My entire transferable currency is all MR points. Mm-hmm. Like I don't have Chase. I don't have a movable way to do Chase. I don't have Capital One anymore. I don't have Wells Fargo bank points. I don't have Citi. And I do cash back for US Bank. So for me, like I only care about MR points from a transferable point. I've had every card that I could reasonably get right now that gives me MR points. So unless I get no lifetime language links, which I don't really hunt for, I can't get any MR points from subs. So for me, it's some of it is just utility. Of I don't have to necessarily care. Most of the cards I'm getting elsewhere are hotel cards that I'm not necessarily getting just for amount of points. I'm getting them for status or perks or whatever. Like my Delta cards, my hotel cards. So, again, that is me. That is not my advice to everybody. That is me as a person.
Yep.
Also, there's a built mention in the chat, so everybody needs to take a drink.
Guess it's water. Yay.
I didn't say what you had to take a drink of. I just said there's a built mention, so everybody's got to take a drink.
That's it. I signed up for, or I applied to be part of Close Friends today because I saw it was available in my app. But they announced their rent day stuff. It's higher redemptions for Amazon. Yay.
I mean, Amazon gonna Amazon.
Yeah. I have a cardless video I'm going to drop tomorrow. That's going to be fun. Because I have a feeling Built is going to cripple cardless.
I mean, probably. Probably. All right, Matt. We have fixed the world of credit cards. Good job. Giving us a pat on the back.
Yeah. I like the Wells Fargo setup more. I already like the Wells Fargo setup. Your Wells Fargo setup with the 2.5 on 25,000 in spend. Like, that is sweet. I like that. Enjoy double.
So what else do you want to talk about, Matt? Now that we breezed through that. I thought this was going to be like 2.5 hours of fixing credit cards, and we were just like, nope. We hold the answers. Just hire us. SYP will consult.
The number of people every time I put out a Chase video of like, hey, Chase, consider fixing this way. Like, the number of comments are just like, hey, is Jamie Dimon watching this channel? Somebody needs to get this channel to Jamie. I chuckle. I appreciate it. It's humbling. I like it. I appreciate y'all. Because I'm at least trying to approach it as a, you're a business. I understand you're a business. So here's ways that, like, everybody can possibly win. It's not all like just 5x everything and shut up and have a coffee and leave me alone.
I did try not to 5x everything. I did try to be somewhat reasonable to the ecosystems I was playing with.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm waiting for the change to happen with My Citizen M Plus, because I have now I bought the My Citizen M Plus subscription, and I'm going to have Marriott Gold from that going forward. So now I can get Marriott Gold without spending a night at a Marriott, without doing Chase's stupid match, and I don't have to get a credit card from Marriott, a Marriott branded credit card that doesn't make any sense in my life. So I'm pretty happy about that.
I don't think that's why they're not offering the multipliers.
Yeah. Chase also can't. Yes, Clinton, they're doing it sometime in October. So I'm looking forward to that. I locked in the 120 now so that I'm not buying it at 170. So next year when I renew, it's going to be 170. So look into it. My Citizen M Plus. If you purchase the My Citizen M Plus subscription, it's yearly. It's $120. It's going to go up to 170. You're going to start getting Marriott Gold with it. So Marriott Gold has yet another price point. The cheapest you can get Marriott Gold right now is $125 on the Marriott Business Card, then $250 on the Bountiful and Bevy, $450 on the Ritz-Carlton, $895 with the Platinum, $895 with the Platinum Business, and yeah, that's all the ways you can get Marriott Gold.
Yeah, but see, Double, the thing is, they're not doing it because they don't have the money. They're not doing it because they don't want to.
Yeah, they could change their multipliers tomorrow. They haven't felt the need to do that. I think they're starting to keep acquisition low. Maybe the Ink Train nerfs and other things will help them. Yeah, tightening up on the Ink Train will certainly help in some forms. I think if they wanted to go all out, they could. They choose not to because they are the number 2 overall credit card issuer. right now. And up until May of this year, they were the number one credit card issuer overall. They don't have anyone else in their ballpark in terms of their travel redemptions because they guaranteed 1.5 for the longest time. I think you're going to see them bring 1.5 back. I don't know what they're doing in terms of transfer partners because they haven't added any in a number of years. And the last thing I can think of with their transfer partners is like they lost Korean Air a number of years ago and they lost Amtrak a number of years ago. After losing those two programs, they really haven't added anyone in recent years. I don't know when they added JetBlue. So they could go out and add more partners if they want. They could go out and do other things. They just choose not to because they are sitting tight. And who passed them for number one? Capital One. After the Discover merger it became official, Capital One became the number one issuer of credit cards in the United States.
But also they took two mid-sized banks and smashed them together.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that helps when you take, it helps.
Chase still has a ton of assets under management. Chase still has a ton of liquidity right now if, they wanted to do things. The other thing is Chase is looking at the current economic environment, and I'm certain if they were certain that things were in a much better place, they could afford to do a lot of other things. I think if they're going to tighten up and make sure that they have liquidity and they're not going to get, burned by anything in the economic world in the next 6 to 12 months, they'd be a little bit more free flowing with what points they would do, or maybe adding more transfer partners or doing this, that, and the other. Like Jamie Dimon runs Chase rather conservatively. There's plenty he could do more, but he does enough where Chase doesn't face the economic headwinds that other banks face because he's run them very disciplinedly since taking over. Like Chase was the first bank. Chase was issued a bailout and a loan in the Great Recession. Chase was the first bank to pay their loan back because Chase actually didn't need the loan. They were told to take it by the federal government so that there was faith from the other banks that the federal government was there to protect them. Chase paid it back within 3 years with interest. As much as I am not a fan of banks, and not a fan of banks being as, capitalist as they are, banks are cool. Banking is cool. The U.S. bank system is worrisome. Chase at least always has liquidity. Chase at least always has the ability to do things. And also credit cards are just a portion of their overall portfolio. Yeah, they've also got mortgages. They've also got wealth management. They've also got checking and savings accounts. The other ways that they save on things is they don't utilize their checking and savings accounts as marketing vehicles to get people into the bank. They'll do bank bonuses to get you in, but their interest rates are crap.
Yeah.
So Chase could, if Chase wanted to go balls to the wall and make their credit card division the number one, most insane credit cards all around, they certainly would.
Yeah.
It's just I think I want to.
I think it's a lot. It's one of those things that, yes, Keith, it is the same because people sign up for it even if they have 0.05. So why would they change that? I think the thing we have to keep in mind is just because a bank doesn't do something doesn't mean they can't. Some can't, right? Wells Fargo cannot get Delta tomorrow. They cannot. There is not no, they can't. Could Chase put a 4x grocery multiplier on the CSP tomorrow? They could. They choose not to. That is a difference. And I think sometimes we need to parse that a little more than just saying they can't. There are some contracts are a thing, but by double. Contracts are a thing, but it is sometimes just they choose not to.
Yeah. Yeah, and their way around the in-cash shenanigans is they will hand out low limit. They can hand out really low limits to start. When I was approved for in-cash, I was only approved for $1,100. You can't do a whole lot of shenanigans on $1,100.
No, unless you get into credit cycling, and then they'll just shut you down.
Yep, and if you're credit cycling on the business side, you are playing with Greek fire.
Yes. Not just Roman fire, Greek fire.
Yeah, same thing.
Hades, Pluto. What's the difference?
Pretty much. So, yeah, do you really think they'll bring back portal multipliers for the CSR and CSP? Didn't they just get rid of it because they've been losing money on the CSR since inception? Yes, and the points boost is being supplemented by the companies that you're seeing the points boost from. So if you're seeing points boost at the Four Seasons is giving Chase a kickback. Chase is able to get something of a kickback through the through their commission on Chase Travel anyway, because Chase Travel is one of the larger online travel agencies. Like, it's not bigger than Expedia, I don't think, but like it's up there. So their kickbacks have been funding a lot of that, and they're getting additional kickbacks to do the 2 cent per point boost. I think if things are really bad, like the way I understand it, the way it appears to me, now I have no inside knowledge or anything like that. The way it appears with the CSR right now is they made the announcement. It wasn't very well received. They've had people sign up for the card. Like, people signed up to grab the 100,000 welcome offer and the $500 travel credit, and try to. It was a lot of folks who were pushing their limits with the with the new lifetime language. I don't think they've seen an appreciable amount of new signups that is leading them to not start considering additional changes, because you've already seen them change the makeup of the edit credit from semi-annual to just use it twice. It's got to be 2 nights, but you can use those 2 nights, those two nights anytime to get the $250. With a bonus of 6K spend, you don't have to cycle at least the first 3 months. I just moved credit limit, so I didn't have to worry about that, but that is certainly an option. Not one that they necessarily want to play.
So, Keith, I say this with all love and respect. You play at different rules than other people because of your business. Like, you have an actual business, sir, and you have the spend to support that. Not everybody plays at your level. And I say I say that entirely respectfully. Like, you play with different rules because of your professional life.
Yeah. Most folks who credit cycle, like the folks who credit cycle dangerously, are not credit cycling for the legitimate purposes of their cards.
Right.
Like, I'm talking Office Depot credit cycling with the in cash. I'm not buying, printer and toner or chairs or desks. They're right. They're buying the stuff that we always buy, and they're credit cycling on it. Where was I before? Yeah, the CSR. So I don't think the numbers are going where they think they're going, and they saw what was going to launch with the American Express Platinum. Then they threw out an additional $250 credit. It appears to be a 1-year credit, but like, they're aware that they're in trouble on the CSR, so they'll probably walk back and reel back in a couple of things. And the 1.5, I think, is very much on the table if they're doing that. So credit cycling is spending up to and potentially even above your credit limit, and then paying it off, and then doing it again in the same billing cycle. It's associated with manufactured spend. So like you have an $1,100 limit, you spend $1,100, you pay $1,100, you spend $1,100 again, you pay $1,100, all before it gets reported. Banks will see that as some form of money laundering, and their AML will kick into gear.
Yeah. Again, Keith, like I respect your game. Absolutely. You play at a different level. Yeah. Your advertising spend is what some people pay like the entire year for everything they do. So it's different. And you have, I think from the Discord, you have like private banking and stuff. Like they're going to understand that at a different level. They can put notes on your file at a different level.
Yep. So everyone's a bit different, and your relationship with Chase is much different than some other folks' relationship with Chase.
Yes.
So I have my business relationship with Chase that I do not want to hurt in any way, shape, or form. So I don't do the crazy, dumb stuff. I might apply for another Inc. Unlimited at some point, but that's to move from my Social Security number to my EIN. So I'll close the one under my Social Security number. I'll open one in my EIN, and then just call it done. Even if the limited hotel brand is a legitimately useful credit for most folks. I absolutely agree. And I think that, adding that as a feature going forward will be helpful. But that was a desperation play because they lost the perception war. And then the Platinum came out with its refresh that wasn't as like change the card as Chase may have been expecting it to be. Like, I think they thought they were going to change multipliers. And I think they thought there was going to be the sort of whiplash or backlash that Chase has faced with the Sapphire Reserve. And Amex didn't do that. And now Chase is stuck looking even dumber than they already were.
Yeah. I think Chase miscalculated the room and are still trying to figure out how to recalculate the room, which is why we're not seeing them make any other moves.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I think 100% of their focus is fixing whatever they can on the Sapphire Reserve. But I don't know what that would be, honestly.
Here's the thing is, even if they put everything exactly the same and like upped the travel credit for the $7.95 fee, I don't think people will be happy. Like, I think they poisoned their well.
I don't know that I go as far as to say that they poisoned their well, but like $7.50 in Chase travel specific credits going forward is going to would go far.
It's not just the people like in our community, right? Like I have people who don't know credit cards at all asking me like what Chase did.
Yeah.
So when I have people with like who use debit cards regularly as their spend ask me what Chase did, I pause.
Yeah. So I think they would be better served starting to update the rest of the lineup just so that you could give an idea of what the vision there is. But it's more likely that whatever the vision there was going to be got broken the second that they faced the backlash that they've been facing.
Yeah. I would trade. Yeah, but that doesn't make Chase any money. And have you considered that Chase would like to make money?
I mean, they lost $200 million on the card in the first quarter of the card being in existence. I don't know how much they lost after that, but I can't imagine that there came a point where the bleeding stopped and they started making money on the card.
Yeah.
What would help stop the bleeding? Just the 1 point. the 1.5 floor, I think, is going to be the easiest way to stop the bleeding because you can put 3x travel on another card, and
The
there's room
CSP
for
would be perfect.
Yeah, like the thing that they have right now is they have this huge gap. As I said earlier, they have this huge $700 delta between the preferred and the reserve. There's room to put in a new card, either above the CSP or move the CSP up and put a new card in underneath it. You can tinker with the freedom cards. I don't think the 3x travel multiplier is going away forever. I think they plan on moving it to a different card so that you sign up for another card and pay another annual fee. Because if they're copying Amex, like you have a food card with Amex, you have a travel card with Amex, and you have a lifestyle membership subscription that just happens to be a credit card as well.
Yeah.
That gives you all the extra travel stuff that you can't get on the 150 card.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the reason the green can stay at 150 and maybe go up to 200, but not go up to like 400 is because it is just travel. Like it is just your travel multiplier card. It is not the perks. If I start hearing about a bunch of perks coming to that card, I start getting real nervous.
It's going to be Resi. It's going to be Uber. It's going to be Grubhub. Yes, there's room for Chase to go after the Amex Gold, and they could do a 4X grocery dining card that is between the Sapphire Reserve and the Sapphire Preferred. Now, are there any trademarks to that effect? No. But could Chase just rename move the Sapphire Preferred up to 350 and reintroduce the Sapphire at 95 and the new Sapphire is just crap? Maybe. Or keep a new Sapphire, reintroduce the Sapphire as a new annual fee card. They could do that too.
I mean, the thing is, there are so many things that can be done and so few things these companies want to do that sometimes it makes us all scratch our heads.
Yes. So, I mean, we'll have to see what ends up happening, but there's plenty that Chase can do to fix things if they so desire. I have to imagine that they are desperately reading through, they're desperately meeting and trying to figure out what to do now, because they gave 4 months. We're almost at the point where regular Sapphire Reserve holders, grandfather Sapphire Reserve holders are getting their benefits. And actually, no, we're still a month away from that. We're still a month away from the benefit kick in.
Yeah.
And there's tons of people, like Arnold mentioned that he's going to downgrade after his last year at 550. There are people who are downgrading and threatening to downgrade and calling Jason, saying, or downgrading now and just getting refunds, prorated refunds on what's left of their annual fee. There are people who are actively downgrading their cards. So, and Clinton's another data point of possibly downgrading to the CSP from the CSR. And Chase, I don't know. We don't know what things are going to look like in terms of card cancellations or downgrades until next month, because the quarter ends in 5 days. That's a Seahawks score if ever I saw one.
Seahawks are winning. They're making points happen, Matt.
Yeah, but the Seahawks never put points on the board. They are not
17 of them.
Yes, but they are not a run and gun offense that will get you 30. They're not consistently scoring, 35, 40 points.
It is the third quarter, to be fair. There's 6.5 to go in the third.
It's 6.5 to go in the third, and the Seattle Seahawks made a conscious effort and a conscious decision to sign Sam Darnold to be their quarterback in the offseason.
Josh, I hope they do well for you. Josh is hitting you with the facts. We're 3 weeks in, and he's hitting you with the facts.
Okay.
Well, week 4.
It's week 4. if they're still top 5 scoring in week 16, I will retract my statement. Anyway, we'll start seeing some of the fallout from the Sapphire Reserve announcement in June in October. And we're really going to start seeing fallout in January. So there may still be bleeding. There may still be a lot of things that they could change. Like if you see Chase in the next month publicly come out and say, you know what, the 1.5 floor, we're going to keep it past 2027. You know that things are very much on fire.
Yes. Not keeping my CSR. Yeah. Like it's the platinum refresh. Like I have used my Lululemon credit. I've used my Uber One credit. Like I didn't have to wait 4 months to use my new perks on my card. Good job. Yeah. And people who use their FHR credit got it again.
Yep.
I don't think so. I think this is different. I think it will have adjustments. I don't think it's going to put it back.
So here's the thing. If that number, there is a magic number, I think. Yes, there's also that. There is a magic number in terms of percentage of the overall card user base decrease that Chase cannot allow it to go beyond. I don't know. Like, I think that number is somewhere between 3 and 5% of total card holders, like downgrading, canceling, doing whatever. What Disney was seeing was probably around 5 or 6%. So it's possible, but
Disney was
we're
also
also
seeing
looking at
people that they pay to be in shows.
Yes.
Telling people to cancel things that hurt their own bottom line.
Yes.
Which is different than a credit card.
Yes, there's also that. And also it's orders of magnitude, because people who have Disney Plus, there are far more people who have Disney Plus and Hulu and whatever else in that streaming package than hold the Sapphire Reserve. So 5% of that population versus 5% of the Sapphire Reserve population, like in terms of ratio, it makes a certain amount of sense. But there's way more people who are canceling Disney Plus over Kimmel, and rightfully so, than the Sapphire cancellations going on. But there is a magic number, and I don't know what it is.
I also think that like people are unhappy. They're saying they're going to do X, Y, and Z. But if you give them 4, 6, 8 months before their actual card is up for renewal, they might just be like, I don't want to have to cancel this and apply, or the platinum doesn't fit my life, or like there's a lot of I'm sure there are people who canceled as soon as it dropped. They were just like, nope, I'm out. But I bet it's less of an attrition rate than we all think.
And again, we haven't seen the benefits kick in for older card holders. So like older card holders may, once it, like they've been spending the last 4 months mathing it out and, figuring this, that, and the other, and seeing terrifying data points about the exclusive dining tables and stuff like that. I'm curious to see if it's going to affect things. It would be silly to cancel before you're affected. Yeah, it would be, because maybe things work out, or suddenly you convert to IHG. I'm not saying it's not silly. Like, it's absolutely silly.
But people do silly things.
Yeah. Have you seen the world? Have you seen what we did? We were presented an option of do a thing that was stupid and terrible and awful the first time, or here's door number 2 that's a lot like the last 4 years, but slightly different.
Yeah.
Shabby, yes, Resi credit is better than Chase Dining. That is because the Resi credit, I don't know, American Express had time to build up Resi, and the Chase credit is just stupid.
So, Matt, I have exciting news. There are more restaurants on Resi around me now than there was last year. Like, enough where I could, in fact, get a meal and not have to jump through 7 hoops to do so.
What? You don't have to go buy a Toast gift card every quarter? Amazing.
I don't. So my parents are big fans of minor league hockey because that is what we have around us, and they are partial season ticket holders. And there is a restaurant that they like to go to because it's in walking distance of the stadium that is on Resi.
Nice.
So I may be like, I might just go to dinner with them before the game twice, because that'll be when the quarters are, and have dinner with them. I'll not go watch hockey, and they'll go watch hockey, and everybody will be happy. There's a couple other places, but I saw that one, and I'm like, I can take them to dinner. Great. But yeah, no, there are, even up where I am in the middle of nowhere, there are becoming more Resi restaurants.
Yeah, there's more Resi restaurants because, I don't know, American Express took time to build that infrastructure. And there's more, like, again, there's easy fixes to Chase Dining that Chase really should be considering. Like, I don't know, if it's on Open Table, make it eligible for Chase Dining. Boom, I fixed Chase Dining. Just make it an Open Table credit. Oh, it's in the Infatuation? It's an Infatuation highlighted restaurant? Boom. There's your $150 credit. Like, it shouldn't be this hard.
And for quote, no, I haven't been using them. That is a valid point, Keith. What? I'm chopped liver, Josh? Like, wow. I can't believe Josh is a hater. Let's see. In your neck of the woods, 3 people can. Yes. They can. I mean, like, not getting, like, 5-course meals, but yes, I could take my parents to dinner. I mean, here's the thing. I don't budget my dinner based off credits. If dinner was $150, I'm not going to go, oh my God, I went over. How could I possibly do this? I would be like, cool, dinner was $50. Awesome.
Or you just pull out your gold card.
I don't have a gold card anymore.
You'd bring it back.
I don't need.
Or that green card's getting a Resi credit. Or that green card is getting a Resi credit.
That green card very well could get the Resi credit. I don't need the gold. I was split between getting the gold or green again, and the green just fits what I want to do next year better. I would work for Amex. I would also request, I don't even need the Centurion card. Like, I don't actually want the Centurion card. I just want that look on my Platinum. Like, just give me that, please.
I'm sorry, I went back into Rove shopping, and some of these things are insane. Oh, this is funny. You could do Booking.com. You could do your bookings through Booking.com through Rove shopping at 3.9x miles per dollar spent at Booking.com.
Yeah. The green card is a great card. It is an underrated card. Yeah, you can stack the credits. You just have to pay separately. I do not recommend doing that with multiple cards. Oh, the Cardinals just tried to trick play and it went very badly. But yeah, no. I get it tomorrow. It should be here tomorrow. So Monday I will be able to give a full breakdown. Matt, if you remember, that should be your opening question to me in the pre-show or in the intro to the show. Instead of how are you? How is the mirror finish plat?
How scuffed is your credit card?
It will be lovingly looked at. I will compare it to the regular platinum card, and then it will very, very nicely be slid into my backup wallet.
I'm sorry, if your credit card's on a plinth, you failed.
I have a backup wallet because I'm me, and why wouldn't I?
That is fair. I wasn't actually planning on going through booking.com through Rove. If I'm going to book with Rove, I'm going to book direct with Rove because I can get like up to 25x at certain hotels. Most of the hotels in my area that I'd be staying at are 10, so boo. But I just found that hilarious that you can get 3.9 at booking through Rove. Although I did the My Citizen, I did the My Citizen M Plus subscription through Rove because it was 5.7 miles per dollar. It still hasn't hit my account. And I know that I have to wait up to like potentially up to 120 days, but it's annoying.
Also, can I just say that companies need to get their IT better? Like, it should not take 4 to 6 weeks for things to like show. Like, that's just ridiculous.
It's 2025. Get your. I don't know what a
like. I just did my Cash Plus welcome offer hit, so I put all but $25 of that towards my balance on my Cash Plus card, and it's like it can take 6 to 8 weeks for this to show, and I'm like, that does not help me when my payment is due in 20 something days. So please post faster.
Yep.
But yes, so yeah, travel portals are giveth and taketh. I always double check booking direct with booking through a portal. Honestly, with Delta, I usually make out pretty well because I'm booking both the flight and the hotel versus just the hotel and the flight separately.
And most times, if you're booking
sometimes
direct,
I almost get that. Oh, I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, but most times booking directly with the hotel, like you're going to get the breakfast included rate. You're not going to have to worry about like this, that, and the other, and you do have to take those things into account. But
so here's the thing about me, and this is absolutely a me thing. I sleep when I'm on vacation. I sleep sometimes to where breakfast is not even being served yet when I'm on vacation. So breakfast, especially if I'm traveling by myself, breakfast isn't on the menu because I'm up at 11. So that's a me thing. QC Man, I like the Delta portal when it gives me MQDs. That is my favorite travel portal. I'm going to experiment a lot more with Amex next year.
I haven't had significant issues with Rove, as I'm trying to make that like my go-to for portals. What I'd like to do is just like have enough status at the hotels I'll be staying at that, you know, when I show up, my status is reflected, but not worry about the nights or, you know, gaining the nights and gaining the extra points because I already have the status I want. So if that's the play, Rove can be pretty good. The other one is going to be if Chase Travel gets their if Chase Travel gets their act together and all of their hotels can get nights and spend and everything reflected, Chase Travel is going to be the winner. Daddy Vroom, got my miles saved for buying a big gift card and then miles from the store. Glad you're getting a cut too. Yeah, if you used my referral link, depending on what sign-up bonus you did, whether it was the 500 or the 1,000, I'll get 10% on whatever you spent, in addition to an extra 500. That will be greatly appreciated. I'll see if that hits tomorrow. It hasn't hit as of now. Rove is usually pretty good about these things hitting, but you know, we'll see. My Citizen M Plus didn't hit, but you know, I could log in tomorrow and see the new number, so it's fine. The Cap One portal is pretty good in terms of is that a pyramid scheme? They have a lot of VC money at the moment. I don't want to say it's a pyramid scheme because it can feel like a pyramid scheme, but like they're not telling me to get 10 friends to get 10 friends. I'll tell you that much. Also, the Cap One
Yeah.
portal is good because Cap One portal will actually price match.
Yeah. I do like the one thing the Delta portal I very much appreciate is they make it very clear what your MQD are going to be. They put that out there so you know exactly how many miles you're getting, how many MQDs you're getting. It's not I have to remember to take taxes off. Like they make it very clear what it is, which is nice.
Yeah.
I like their layout. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing a co-route with Amex and Delta next year. I'm going to be trying to track it to see how that works.
Yeah, as I wonder why Chase is able to provide loyalty benefits on non-elite portal bookings when others aren't. Are they paying the hotels more and eating costs? Certainly possible. It would be. It also can depend on what their commit. Like as they grow in terms of their size, the size of their commission, they're probably just reinvesting what they get as a commission into doing that. But I don't know offhand because like classic travel allows you the benefits and everything through with like Impresario and Hyatt Privé and all of those other higher end booking platforms with the $100 property credit, with the getting all of your status included and all of that. But they're also getting like a huge amount of, they're getting a good chunk of kickback for being that referral. So Chase could just be reinvesting what they get from the hotels, but I don't know. It seems to be working. That's all I know.
Also, like I booked through the Delta portal before, and like when you get there and they pull your name up and stuff, a lot of times if you are like Hilton Gold is my example here because that's the one I have and use, but like they'll just give you your like a lot of times they won't care. I'm sure it's not universal, but if they know you have status, usually they want to reflect it. Again, this is not universal, but a lot of times they want to reflect it because they want you to keep your status and keep using the chain.
Yeah, they may not give you the night, but when you arrive on site, like they'll extend everything to you. That's what happened with Rove. I booked a Hilton as soon as I checked in that night. It was, oh, we see that. Are you a Hilton member? Yeah, here's my card for this is the card I was going to use for incidentals. Oh, okay. Here's your 2 bottles of water. You know, everything on site. When you purchase on site, you're going to be fine as well, and go from there. FHR, you can do that as well. Yes, FHR does allow you to get allow you to put in your hotel number, allow you to put in your loyalty number, allow you to have your benefits extended to you. The rest of Amex Travel, though, doesn't. It's looser with Marriott and Hilton because of the relationship that American Express has with Marriott and Hilton. But like, you're not getting a Holiday Inn Express reflected if you have IHG Platinum and you're booking through the Amex Travel portal. You're not getting a Kimpton. Well, no, your Kimpton would probably be because it's FHR. But like through Chase Travel, I'm hoping to see them roll out like the Holiday Inn Express and the Kimpton and the Edit to be reflected the same. One perk of the Edit compared to Amex seems lower tier Edit hotels are sometimes THC, not FHR on the Amex side, so the Chase hotels have better perks. But why does the Chase portal not have an Edit filter? I don't know. The Chase portal is a pain in the butt. Like, I want a separate app. I want a whole separate website. I want a whole different way to do it than what you have to do right now.
So like, speaking of separate apps, the Amex Travel app is cool. It's not perfect. There have been issues people have reported, but it's kind of awesome. It's awesome they're at least trying it. We'll see how it fades out.
Yeah. And that would be, I don't know, useful as opposed to whatever the hell you have to do with Chase.
Yeah.
Like 2026 is going to be a batten down the hatches type year for Chase. Like they've got to fix the Edit. They've got to fix a bunch of stuff. Like they've got to retool some infrastructure.
Yeah.
And just make it better.
I think the next couple of years are going to be interesting. It's a good time to have a credit card podcast, Matt.
Mm-hmm. Why is a nonstop flight to Amsterdam taking 10 hours from New York City? What on God's green earth is going on? Sorry. 16. Why is it 16 hours? There's obviously a layover, but why are you telling me it's nonstop if there's a layover?
I don't know, Matt. And Arnold, that's cool. Um, again, I think it will come to more portals. Like I can see this starting to become a thing, especially with travel partners or especially with transfer partners.
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason that the game changed, part of the thing with folks jumping into travel points and miles and extracting the value that they were getting that way, there were still people booking with obviously Priceline, Expedia, Booking, Kayak, whatever. Like that population still wasn't deeply affected, but the companies were seeing that like higher value people were leaving because they were able to, because of the points and miles game, because you could book direct and get more points with the hotel directly because of your status, or you were learning how to transfer your points and you were directing your spend that way. So
Yeah.
they have to differentiate, and Chase has to differentiate from Amex, and they have to differentiate from the Pricelines and Expedias of the world, because if you compare a Holiday Inn Express, this Holiday Inn Express in Manila, let's say, in the Chase Travel Portal, if Chase is going to let all of your status be reflected, and you have a Sapphire and you're booking with the Sapphire Reserve, and your Sapphire Reserve comes with IHG Platinum, like that should stack on itself with this booking. Whereas you go to Expedia and the cash booking is similar, but you're going to get way more benefits booking through the Chase Travel Portal.
And at the end of the night, like Hilton or Marriott or whoever gets the money, like they're happy the money is gotten. It strengthens the partnerships. Like it can be good for both sides.
Nacho, yeah, Advantage Hotels is the way. You're seeing airlines starting to pick this up as well. And Advantage Hotels is giving you loyalty points for every dollar as well. If AA is your jam, like getting AA status is significantly easier than Delta status, although Delta status is getting super easy as well, and significantly easier than United status. Like it'll be interesting to see what United and JetBlue cook up with their alliance partnership, because there's a way to make that a bigger play, especially because United's taking on Paisley as their back end. JetBlue Travel as their back end. So they've got to be doing something to upgrade JetBlue Travel on the back end.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about tonight, Matt? We're at 2 hours. We have crossed the barrier.
I'm very curious about what this six plus car subscription is, but only because it's 17,000 Rove miles. Apparently, it's just like short-term leasing of a car. Interesting. And they take care of the registration. They take care of all of that. I have to look this up. I have to look deeper into this, but not now. Breeze added international flights today. They launched those. They're going to Montego Bay. They're going to Cancun. They're going to Punta Cana. Makes sense to go to those 3 locations. You have to fly out of like Charleston and Providence to do it, but they're starting their international footprint, so that's cool.
Providence is a nice little airport.
Do y'all think Delta will make earning status harder soon? No, they just made it easier. I don't think they're going to start making it harder. They might raise the MQD rates for their top end, depending on how many silvers and golds they get based on credit card acquisition, because the people doing the shortcuts through credit cards there's not a lot of them, but they will spend some money to do it.
Sometimes it's also not worth, like if people are spending money and you're getting the swipe fee or you're getting your cut, like they also might not care. Yeah. Especially if those people aren't actually taking a lot of flights.
Also that.
Like flights are much different than a hotel stay, right? Like you you gotta fly to do that.
AA may have to compete with Alaska for people chasing status. Yeah. AA is probably a little bit further ahead. Also, your AA status can be reflected on your Alaska flights if you are like putting in your number for both. So there is that. Breeze credit card doesn't offer luggage. Yeah, it sure doesn't. There's reasons I don't have the Breeze card. Most of those reasons being it's not a particularly compelling card, even at $89.
Matt, what is a Breeze?
Breeze is an airline. It's ultra low cost carrier. Or like trying to be a step above an ultra low cost carrier.
There are airlines that are not.
Yes, there are airlines that are not Delta. Yes. Southwest still exists.
I'm not familiar with that name.
Well, that's a you problem. People say Hilton Gold and Marriott Platinum are the sweet spots. Do the various airline statuses have sweet spots?
That is that is a much more variable question than hotel status.
Like hotel status, you know exactly what you're getting, and yes, they list out the things that you get with the airline status, but like it's also going to depend. Like airline status is more dependent on, like you're more wedded to the airline status than you're going to be wedded to a Hilton Gold or Marriott Platinum, because you can pick up Hilton Gold and Marriott Platinum easily. It just takes a credit card. Whereas with the airline status, oh, Clinton, I'm sorry about that. Is that rats or raccoons? Oh, raccoons.
I'm hoping it's raccoons.
That looks like a trash panda. I know trash pandas. Yeah, it's super easy to get like Hilton Gold and Marriott Platinum. It's less easy to get, Premier 1K or Executive Platinum. It's still easy to gamify, at least like Advantage Gold and Advantage Platinum, but like Platinum Pro and Executive Platinum are a bit harder. Now your status is like, once you have status on an airline, like you are treated differently because they know that you're a frequent flyer, or they know, and United knows how you get your status, right? United can tell whether you're paying through the nose on a credit card or you're flying like there's no tomorrow, according to Lonnie. And they have everything. They have all the data on you, and like you do get treated a different way with airline status than like a schlub. Hotel status, considering how easy it is to get like Hilton Gold, I don't know that it's any like it's better, but it is more easy to get, and like they are going to like reflect it when you're at the hotel somewhat.
You're also going to be in more hotels than you probably will be on flights.
Yes.
Like just from that. And like if your whole thing is like, I want free bags or I want this or that, a airline credit card might actually be more important for you than status.
Free bags more than make up your annual fee. Just like I hold a $99 annual fee JetBlue card. One trip, round trip with my partner, just my partner, not my kid and my partner, just my partner, one round trip for us. If we check a bag, is the annual fees covered?
Yeah.
Actually, since they give me 5,000 anniversary points, my bag, one flight from me covers my bag. Covers my annual fee.
Yeah. Like it's amazing after you have status or a credit card that does X, Y, and Z. It is very strange to think of these things as things people pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Like I forget and I don't mean this to sound whatever. I forget that there are baggage fees because I haven't had to pay a baggage fee in a long time.
Yeah,
just because I just haven't had to.
Yeah, and that can make a change in airlines for whatever reason a bit of a sticker shock when you have to pay another airline's baggage fee because you're not part of that airline and you don't fly that airline.
Like people will ask me like why would I, or if I would fly United or American or whatever, and it's like probably not, just because the benefits I get from Delta, like coagulating everything down, is just so much easier. Like I'll go to LaGuardia for a couple hours. Like I'm fine with that. Like I'm cool. Yeah. I have an American card. I need to figure out what to do with the points, but I have an American card.
Speaking of low-cost airlines, Avelo today announced a new subscription program called Avelo Plus, and it's not a credit card. It's a $99 annual fee. In the first year, you're getting $49, but you're getting access to member-only Avelo pricing on flights. Now, the example given by upgraded points is only a $4 difference between member and non-member, so that's silly. But you get free priority boarding, so you are in that like toward the front of the plane. Member only promotions and discounts year round, so that $4 on this particular flight could be significantly more depending on what sort of promotions you can get. You get $50 in Avelo cash at membership renewal, so you could consider the annual fee $49 just going forward, depending on how you use your Avelo cash, because they're just giving you cash. The ability to share perks with up to 9 friends traveling on the same reservation, and no blackout dates. I don't know what else they give you, but like those are the highlights. Do you think like a membership program like this, not for Delta, not for American Airlines, not for United, not for the big three, but would other airlines benefit from some sort of membership subscription that isn't attached to a credit card?
Yes. And I think the big three would too. I think if you could membership, like, I mean, it would be stupid expensive, but if you could just give them $2,500, like guaranteed $2,500, and get status, like, it would be great. Because here's the thing. If you do it, you're probably somebody who's flying.
Mm-hmm.
You may not fly enough to get that status on your own, right? So it becomes this thing of like, it helps both sides. I think memberships are going to be the future for a lot of companies over credit cards. Or it's going to be a membership is going to become more baked in. Like, I know technically like status is kind of a membership, but just being able to buy Hilton Gold, or if you have the Hilton Gold card, you can buy a membership status, right? Like maybe you have to have the status to buy a membership, but I could see that becoming a thing.
Yeah, that's fair. And Daddy, no, I absolutely get why Avelo is not your favorite right now. They're not my favorite right now. I'm all for them just, going bankrupt at any moment. And given the year that they're having, they could. I just like the membership subscription idea. But yeah, no, Avelo's trash for what they've done.
So from my home airport, I can fly to Charlotte or Raleigh. But I can only fly. Yes, I can only fly. Hold on, I gotta do this. I can only fly on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Fridays. I cannot fly on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturdays. Like, I mean, they've only got dates don't exist.
One plane servicing those days, and I'm sure that plane is also just depositing people at borders as well.
Yeah. But yeah. Not gonna become my airline of record, but yeah, no, I think subscriptions are gonna be the way to go, because that way, especially if they tie it to like you have status that you can buy this special tier to get more. Like, you have gold, but you can basically buy platinum. You have platinum because of a credit card, you can buy titanium, like that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, and if Marriott's going to find more ways to extract more money out of you, they're going to do it.
Yeah. Like, Marriott's nice for these examples because of how many levels they have versus like gold to diamond.
Yeah. And if that one plane breaks, yeah, if that one plane breaks, you're kind of screwed. But like, it's a Velo, so I don't really care if they're screwed. But I just like the concept. I want to see more memberships. I want to see, especially in a system, an ecosystem like the ultra low cost carriers that don't have higher value than like 1 cent per point on their points. Like, it doesn't make sense to earn Spirit points, right? It doesn't make sense to earn Frontier points on their credit cards because the best you can do is 1 cent per point. Like, you're not getting extracted value, like further value out of those cards. Like, at least with AA, you're guaranteed you can get 1.4. Or if you only do international first and business, you are going to get, 6, 7, 15 cents per point, depending on the type of flight that you're booking. Whereas like a Breeze Easy point is only worth 1 cent. I want more than a penny per point.
I don't care.
Yes, I know you don't care because you just book first class in cash and you only fly Delta. But like, I don't know. I want more than a penny.
I get it. You know what helps, Matt? Just don't calculate cent per point, and then you're never disappointed.
Yeah, there's that. There is that.
Like, I mean, look, I do math. I just don't do that math. I'm not a complete heathen.
QC Man, the Spirit card is now giving 2 check bags.
Would RJ ever fly Frontier? No. RJ would rent a car and drive wherever RJ had to go before RJ would fly Frontier.
I would vastly prefer not to fly Frontier.
Hold on. I don't even know if they might fly out of my home airport. Hold on.
They do.
Let's see where they fly to.
Airport.
Yes, that Frontier? I knew Breeze did. Yeah, I'm checking Frontier.
Surprisingly more places than you would expect.
I need to know where you fly to. Doesn't really want to show me things. Right now, it's just not wanting to show me flights, which is fun.
Yeah. I'm going to let my Frontier status die because I couldn't do the thing I thought I could.
That is sad.
Yeah, well,
like,
it was a gamble.
Like, here's the thing, Sleepy Rod. Like, I don't have to do work travel. So when I travel, my travel is myself, right? Like, it is travel I am basically choosing to do. I am not going to be uncomfortable when I travel. I'm just not. I'm not that gal anymore. So for me, like, the idea of taking a budget airline just is antithetical to why I am traveling.
Yep. Nope, I get it.
It still won't show me where Frontier flies. That's annoying.
Cousin stores by Frontier. Apparently, it's not too bad if you have the card and you're okay with budget airline seats. That's the problem. I'm not okay with budget airline seats.
Frontier halted all flights from Albany in 2022. So no, I can't actually fly Frontier anymore.
Well, should have been a more profitable venture.
Yeah. That would be why. That
would explain it. Yep.
We have the one that goes to Martha's Vineyard in the summer, though.
Yay.
Because people in Albany have to go to the vineyard.
Very distinct reason and a very distinct group of people.
I mean, yes.
Shrewsbury and Half Moon Bay.
Look, sometimes you need to go to Martha's Vineyard. I don't know why you wouldn't want to. All right, so we have Allegiant, JetBlue, Delta, United, American, Southwest, Avelo, and Breeze. I just go to the Delta area because there really is only like 2 sides you go, and all the Delta ones are at, you basically walk straight down from security and you're in the Delta section, and I know where to go.
Yep. How the Sapphire Reserve and Built is my only points earning cards. Thinking Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite Platinum Honors for flights, and then IHG can buy points and Hyatt from Built for hotels for greater flexibility. That's not a terrible setup. Premium Rewards Elite will get you pretty good travel, especially with Platinum Honors. If you're not worried about like transferring points to airlines, and the airlines that gives you way more flexibility to just pay for what you want, which is great. Buying points from IHG, solid move, especially when they're the 100% bonus. So 400,000 points for $2,000 is not bad. Now, obviously, you don't have to pay $2,000 to experience IHG, but when it's half a penny per point, you're in a sweet spot. And Hyatt from the Built card and Chase gives you pretty good flexibility. So yeah, the PRE is not a bad choice if you don't want to, put too heavy a thought into it or care about transfer currencies to airlines.
Yeah, like you can absolutely do something like that and have it work. Absolutely. The PRE is, I think, going to become more attractive to people next year. Like, as Double says, he's going to snag one. QC man, I am not a trust fund baby. I inherited generational trauma, not generational wealth. I just have certain standards for myself when I travel. I also drive to a lot of the trips I do. I am staying in a hotel 16 of the last 31 days, from last Friday for 31 days. I'm in a hotel for 16 of them. Only one of those trips am I getting on a plane for. Everything else I'm driving to. So I do a lot of travel that's not indicative of being on a plane to get there, which is why I can stay at necessarily a little bit nicer places or do things, because I don't. I should hit Hilton Diamond. Hold on. Let me pull my calendar up. I can tell you the day I'm going to hit the requirement. Hold on. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to hit that on the 20th of October. I will hit my night requirement for Diamond.
Yep, downgrading CSR to get pre-RE. Yeah, no, that's fair. We're nowhere near Platinum Honors. Yup.
I would be a great rich person. Like, I would be the type of rich person that would like build libraries. Like, I would be an old school like philanthropist if I was incredibly wealthy. I am not. I am not. I would tell you if I was. Like, Matt, here's the thing though. Matt knows where I live. The cost of living where I live helps a lot with my life. Because my cost of living is probably 2/3, maybe half of what Matt's is. And we live not that far from each other. Yes, yeah. I'm not a Vanderbilt. I am in fact not. But I would be a great rich person. I still think I should have a great granduncle pass away and just leave me a couple billion.
Funny you mentions Vanderbilt. The Vanderbilt mansion is like halfway between where we live.
It is, yeah. I work in a white collar job that is risk based.
I work in healthcare and not doing what you think I do.
He's actually the orderly that pushes you to the CT scan.
I'm just going to keep it as I work in healthcare and not risk anything else. If I was a financial analyst, yeah, that's fair. If I was a financial analyst, I'd be in a much better position than where I am today.
Yeah. If I have a job that allows me to do things. I work from home. I work for a company that you probably all would hear from, but I'm not going there. But yeah, it's, the primary thing is I live in a low cost of living area. That is why a lot of my life is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I did what I do now and I lived in
If Matt and I were neighbors and he did his job for what he makes, his life would be different. Like categorically different. Like that's just let's see. I'm looking up. Yeah, it's generally lower. I'm doing a quick. Yeah, my cost of living is less. Trying to see. I hate when it like I Google something and it doesn't.
Yep. Leon, I absolutely understand your where you're coming from there. $2,000 mattress, budget, and hotel will never be in the same sentence out of my mouth. That makes certain sense. A total amount of sense.
Matt being a soldier of fortune would be hilarious because I could just imagine like the conversations around the fire after Matt does his soldier of fortuning, just him talking about like nihilism around the campfire, like as he sharpens his blade. It'd be great. Yeah, working from home is great. My commute is to the coffee pot. But Leon, like, I get it. I also don't spend $2,000 on any hotel room. Like, I don't do that. I don't stay at the Four Seasons. I stay at a nice Hilton.
I want to stay at the Four Seasons. It's only going to cost me 88,000 points a night.
So, Matt, my cost of living is 25.6% lower than the average cost of living in New York.
Yay.
Yeah, that's why I can have a life. Like,
I live in the third most expensive county in the state.
Yeah.
No. Second.
Yeah. Matt lives in a much more expensive place than I do.
Yep.
Matt lives closer to the city.
And the county I'd moved to is only like the 8th most expensive.
And none of them are Manhattan. Like everybody thinks it's Manhattan.
No, New York County is expensive to live in, but it's not the county I live in, and it's not the county that's number one.
Not to like out anybody, but neither of us live in Manhattan.
Yup. Well, yeah, the Canadian hood.
I live in Little Canada, not Little Italy. Like, I basically, I live in a place with more cows than people.
Yeah.
So my stepfather is retired, and he will occasionally do we'll be coordinating like family plans or whatever. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm off that day. And he will say, I'm off every day. And it was funny for the first 2 years of his retirement. It is a varying amusements at this point. The county with the lowest per capita income in New York is actually Bronx County.
That tracks. But it's one of the most expensive to live in.
Yeah. Franklin is second. And then Allegheny.
In the middle of fucking nowhere.
Franklin makes where I look cosmopolitan.
Yeah. Manhattan is for hanging out, not living. Exactly.
Matt does have a child.
Yeah, that is an annoying thing. All right, most posts a good status for free bags. Yep. It is an expensive place to live, but it is not the most expensive place to live. which is
It
hilarious.
also like it depends on where in the city you are, because like you can say Manhattan, but there are a lot of places in Manhattan.
QC man, even with Riverdale, yes, Riverdale kind of raises the average, but like Mott Haven, Hell's Kitchen, not Hell's Kitchen, sorry, Mott Haven, Hell's Gate, whatever, that very big neighborhood at the very south end of the Bronx. Like the Bronx is not a rich county. Once you're out of Riverdale, it's stuff all the way down. Like you have Co-op City, you have Alphabet City, you have Alphabet City's more Manhattan with avenues A, B, and C, but Co-op City is not particularly wealthy. Mott Haven is not particularly wealthy. The areas around Westchester Square are not particularly wealthy. Most of Fordham Road is not particularly wealthy. I don't know why I keep saying healthy. And then you have the Grand Concourse and all the areas around the Grand Concourse.
If you want to live in a cheap place in the 5 boroughs, you can always move to Staten Island.
I'd rather move to North Brother Island than Staten Island.
Oh, that is so perfect, and like 6 people will get that joke.
Yeah. More likely, I would live on Roosevelt Island because you're allowed to live on Roosevelt Island. But
you are.
Yeah. And there's a Hilton on Roosevelt Island. So that helps. Look, I would trade Staten Island and New Jersey so fast. Thank you, Daddy Room. Thank you. If I could trade Staten Island, if I could trade Richmond County for Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty, I would.
I would trade them for a prospect to be named later for the Mets.
Does it have to be the Mets? You know what?
I don't want to.
7th round Jets pick gets done.
There you go. I also think that the Giants and the Jets should have to be the New Jersey Giants and New Jersey Jets.
Oh, I don't care anymore.
It bothers me on principle. Because the only New York football team is, in fact, the Buffalo Bills.
I guess.
Man, you're getting all of the critters tonight, Glenn.
There you go. That works.
It's almost fox season where I am, which I'm very excited for. Because we have a red fox that likes to just bounce in the fields.
Foxes do not sound the way that you would expect them to sound.
No. They sound like a crying baby.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that John Baptiste left the Colbert Show.
Yeah, no. Foxes sound like a crying baby. Also, bobcats, which is like, there's a thing that like in the Appalachian Mountains, like if you hear a crying baby, don't go. A lot of times it's bobcats, and they will eat your face.
Yep.
No. We New Yorkers should require the name change. Don't sully New York with that New Jersey nonsense.
They could always change their name to the Jersey Taylor Hams. That's fine.
There you go.
They play about as well as a breakfast sandwich. Actually, breakfast sandwiches have a better record.
Yeah. I think some people would have been happy. I think the changes though pissed people off. I do think it would have helped though.
It absolutely would have helped. Like if I was able to explore I could have switched over. IHG Platinum could have had you change your loyalty relatively quickly, right? And if you were putting in IHG in the travel portal, where now your IHG stays are, you're getting IHG Platinum at the hotel, you're earning 8 times points per dollar because you're able to get your status reflected at the hotel, and you're booking through the portal. Now, and you can redeem that at 16% as opposed to 8 with points boost for like an even better stay. That would have been interesting. But the 3x general travel was a big hit to consumer confidence. And then, I don't know. If the edit was usable, would be super competitive with platinum if it was 500 once a year, even with a 2-night minimum. Yeah. The edit is only 1,300 properties. FHR and the hotel collection is 3,100. Like they gotta pick it up. By now, CSR allowed immediate benefits, Matt. I would have booked something, and then I would have canceled and rebooked it with the new 250 credit, because I would probably have booked I would book a Kimpton with the 250 credit, with that like $500 stacking. I had already used my travel credit. If that 250 credit sticks around, right, and you can stack it on top of IHG, or you can stock it on top of Omni or whatever, you could get $800 with the general travel credit and the the 250 and the 250 from the edit. Like that would be a great thing to do. But I would have booked something by now and probably canceled and rebooked with that extra 250. Yeah, especially with the 2-night minimum. I don't mind the 2-night minimum. Again, American Express paid through the nose to keep the 1 night on the FHR. Like when Steve Squarey said they were making the biggest investment in the American Express Platinum that you've ever seen, it was paying off the hotels to keep 1 night on FHR.
Also, I'm sorry. I get it. Like, I get sometimes you just want to go to a hotel for 1 night. Like, I get that. I also think that people overblow the minimum.
Yep. The travel credit stacks with the edit credit, and the $500 travel credit that was announced when on the initial welcome offer also stacked with the edit credit. So like their credits stack. I assume that if you're booking a hotel that's in the edit and IHG, or in the edit and Virgin, or in the edit and Omni, you're going to be able to do the 500. But that starts January of next year. So yes, I'm speculating, but there's a strong enough track record of previous stacks that it stands to reason that it would track.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, but here's the thing. Like, you're paying for access to the fancy hotel network. You're not paying for access to the budget hotel or the mid-range hotel network. Like, that is part of what you're paying for. Like, I am also paying for it. Like, and there are some that are reasonable. Like, there are some really great hotels that are maybe $200 to $400 a night. But like the network is not meant to be mid-range or budget. Like, that is not what it's for.
So let's just.
I get it, but like, that's not what FHR is not meant to be mid-range. It's just not.
Also, quick shout out to Dugraz, friend of the channel. He did a edit comparison on his most recent live, and he recut that into it's a members first video, but it should be launching may have launched today, maybe it's launching tomorrow. But he did comparisons of the edit versus like booking direct and booking via FHR, and a lot of the time with all of the benefits included, even with the 2-night stay requirement, the edit is a better deal than a lot of other options. So check out Dugraz's channel. It's Dugraz Reports. He has a pretty solid breakdown on the edit. Like he mathed out like 15 properties. So It's not as bad as we're making it out to be. I think my comment on that was like, what? Math showing that the perception is not true? It's like Washington, D.C. Let me put my check-in to...
I would not pick up a card for aspirational travel in that case. Like, if I think aspirational travel is just not usually worth it. Like, I'm being entirely serious. Like, make a bank of points, and like you can use the portal with a CSP. You can do other things. Like, yes, if you want to use FHR, you kind of got to use the platinum, but there are ways to do it where you don't need, like, if you're, I don't think paying $800, $900 for a credit card for aspirational travel is usually worth it for most people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you have no serious loyalty as of now, which card would you pick for aspirational travel, CSR or platinum? How are you defining aspirational is also a question for me. If you want the best lounges, if you want the best, like, I don't want to think about anything, travel day is sacred, I want all of these things, platinum. Go with the platinum. Real quick, just so that we can dispel some of the $800 a night on the CSR with the edit. Logged into the edit. Don't worry about the number of points I have. Sofitel, it's a Core Live Limitless brand. I picked 3 nights in DC. The Sofitel DC is, or I think I did 4 nights, whatever. It's the edit. It's from, $270 a room a night. So I must have done 4 nights because I'm totaling out to $1,040 total with the 250. And if I do 4, with the 250, I'm getting down to 700 and change. And you can mix points and credit booking, which you can do with FHR. So you can still come out. You can still do reasonably well. And it includes breakfast, and it includes any Accor benefits that you may have if you have Accor status. So it's not too bad.
Yeah. And I'm looking at New York City on the platinum portal, and there are options. Like, New York City, so it's expensive, but there are options.
Yeah. Even going to 4 nights, it's still $263 a night. So
a lot of, like, Chase and Amex will just tell you the price.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm literally looking at the Amex portal right now, total price including taxes and fees. Like, so it shows it right up front.
Yep. Side by side with THC, and THC is a better deal 80% of the time so far. About 10 cities searched for future travel, domestic, international. Yeah, and unfortunately,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, unfortunately, like, that is probably going to play out more often because there's more options. But if you're comparing the edit just to THC and you're not even taking FHR into account, that shows how far behind Chase is.
Also, Double, are you looking at the perks specifically as well? Like, are you looking at what it gives you, or are you just looking at raw numbers? Because either's fine. I'm just curious. You can use your points as 2x instead of cash.
Yep. That's the points boost feature.
Yeah. That is also what I tend to do, Daddy Room. Our apples just announced unbundle.
Because people are too stupid to realize why their prices look higher. Well, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. Again, an interesting breakdown, just to shout out to you, Graz. Check out his breakdown of the edit. He did a pretty thorough, like, it wasn't completely scientific, but he did a pretty solid sampling across the board. Total value, Amex more frequently has discounts, more properties, like Matt said. And should I say really want the edit to be great? I really do. Yeah. Again, I want the edit to be great, but, like, the only way it's going to be great is if they double the number of hotels in the next 12 months. If they're at 2,600 next year, this is a far different conversation than 1,300 versus 3,100.
Yeah.
And again, all of Chase Travel should be reflecting all of the hotels that are in Chase Travel Chase should be fighting tooth and nail to get your like whatever status that might be associated with them reflected in your stay. Yeah, what is pretty underrated is the fact that your edit stays are effectively 16% after your points boost and 8x travel portal. Yeah, so if you book lower end hotels at 8x, you can redeem them for 16% at higher end hotels in the edit. Like, that is not something that's brought up because nobody wants to, like, everybody says, oh, well, nobody wants to book through a portal. Chase travel bookings, the ones that reflect status are essentially cash bookings. Not essentially, they are cash bookings. And Chase bookings with what do you call it? Chase bookings with flights are cash bookings. And if you book with your points, cash bookings. Think about I can use the credits on the platinum and not to mention the protections and insurances. I should have said peace of mind while traveling. Yeah, if you want peace of mind, the platinum is probably going to give you a bit more peace of mind. I like the reserve, but I understand that the platinum offers more while traveling. Like, if you are not wedded to a hotel chain, you're going to get a little bit more with direct booking with the CSR. CSR isn't going to make your travel day as easy as the platinum can make your travel day. Because if you're flying Delta, you can get into Delta clubs, sky clubs on your 10-day passes with the platinum. If you want access to the Centurion Club, and the Centurion Club that you're flying to doesn't have a sad sack of cookies and a wet salad, cool. The platinum will do more across the board. And James, thank you for the $5 super chat.
Yes, thank you very much. So I'm looking at New York City. I did November 11th through the 13th, just as a thing. There is a hotel, and okay, it's in the Rockaways, so like New York adjacent, but it's $167.20 a night for a 4-star hotel in the hotel collection. So like, there are options. I mean, the next one up is $359 a night, and that's in Williamsburg. But also, like, that's not for Williamsburg. That's not bad. So like, there are options that are not necessarily super high.
Points boost is much more useful than the edit right now. Yes. If the future is portals, stronger portals with loyalty program connection would be good to see. Yup. More competition needed for innovation. Also, yup. And Gabby, thank you for joining as a member. Appreciate it. You'll get your shout out on Monday. And that'll be reflected on Wednesday and Friday. And
definitely join the Discord. And if you go in, once you go in, there's a members place where you can actually select what level you have to get the proper Discord benefits. The Discord is great. I strongly recommend. Hold on, let me even drop the link. It's fine. No, stop. Go away. Join the Discord. It's great. We have fun.
Yep. And if you really want to get deep into math, there is the Mathnasium. Used to be called CPP Hell, but I changed it for some folks who didn't want to associate hell with CPP.
I mean, that's their problem. Let's see. What is the most expensive hotel in New York City that is currently FHR, Matt? Do you have any guesses?
I would assume the original Waldorf is up there. The Chatwal would be way up there, and if not either of those, it is a private hotel not associated with any loyalty chain.
Yes, kid, we are still going. And yes, Daddy Vroom is correct. It is for $2,450 a night. And it is on FHR. Four Seasons is next at $2,395 a night. A practical bargain. Yeah. And then you have Mandarin Oriental at $2,095. Waldorf is $1,895. So bargain. St. Regis, Park Hyatt, the Mark, and then it all goes down from there. But yeah.
Wow, not even close.
But again, this is New York City in November.
Yeah. Amman Resorts. Oh, it's a resort. Matt, going back to fetch, if points are no longer 1 cent a point, what do you think the value is? 0.75. I'm waiting for a better sub on the fetch Amex. If I remember correctly, it's somewhere around 0.7. It ends up being about 0.7. Take whatever is needed for a $10 gift card, and that is your cent per point. I want to say it's like 12.50. The 5x you earn on the portal will be worth more than the yeah.
Well, I am really gonna try to extra portal next year. I have not really hit the Amex portal as much as I should. And of course, Doc Crane posting in the reference on Stack Your Points Discord how to maximize your FHR and your hotel collection credits. So there you go.
Yeah, it is right near Central Park. Of course, this hotel is stupid expensive. I'm sorry. I'm looking up the Amman.
I mean, it looks awesome. I'm not going to pay to stay there, but it looks awesome.
Oh, it's in the Crown Building, of course. It's on Fifth Avenue. That's dumb. Not that of course it's going to be super expensive. It's right there. It's right in the heart of downtown, or right in the heart of Midtown. Sorry, downtown is further down. New York City geography is weird, man.
Yeah, it's all a grid except for when it isn't.
Yeah, another thing and a bit of a hassle. But if people can't naturally get value from StubHub, they can just buy. Yeah. My plan for StubHub is to try and use it as naturally as possible, but there are other secondary markets out there, and some that don't take the same cut that StubHub does. So it's certainly plausible I could try to do that for some arbitrage, but I'm not planning on that. That is, I need to sell these tickets really quickly.
You also live very close to a place that has something you could reasonably every night of the week want to go see.
Yes, there is that.
If you're in a city, that credit is less annoying. You still might hate going through StubHub, but it is a lot easier to find a thing.
There's all the comedy clubs in New York City. There's everything on Broadway. There's all the experiences you can buy on StubHub through StubHub in New York City. There's everything at Resorts World. There's everything at Bethel Woods. There's everything. There's all the sports. There's what else can I do? All the other comedy clubs that are outside of New York City in my area, like Levity Laugh or Levity Lounge at the Palisades. I don't remember where Bananas moved, because Bananas used to be in Poughkeepsie and it's no longer in Poughkeepsie. There's all of the various theaters in the area that should have options on StubHub. There is doing the 150 credit should be relatively easy to burn, so that's not a problem. Thought it was interesting that Amex Travel app featured a Hyatt hotel and not Hilton. It kind of depends on where you're looking, but yeah. In their advertising for the app, I think they were just hoping to highlight what they got. I tend to find all of the secondary markets price out similarly. There's no fee. The no fee sites tend to have higher prices to offset. Yeah, and that's if I was going to sell on the secondary, I'd be looking at the no fee sites to offset the fee, but I'm not making that much additional bank. So if I have to cancel out and sell my tickets, at least breaking even outside of StubHub is possible on that one. I I had tickets to see Eliza Schlesinger in that area, and she had to cancel.
It just launched, so no, because I have everything booked for the rest of the year. I might try it in November. I don't have anything booked in the month of November right now, so I might do like a night away just to try it at like a hotel that I know how I usually get. So we'll see. Matt, can you do stand up?
No.
I feel like you would be more like the George Carlin stand up than like the Robin Williams stand up.
Probably. Really depends on how I'm feeling at any given time. I couldn't go for a straight 5 minute set. But I say comedic shit from time to time. I make people laugh. I'm good at making people laugh. I'm not good at scripting out something to get you to laugh.
You are not Midge Maisel, is what we're saying. You do not have a show corset.
Yep. No.
You do have a show Snuggie.
Yes.
Which graced Bridge Banter this week, which was very exciting.
And my weekend videos this week.
Very nice. And no, QC man, I am not buying an Aura ring. I don't return things. I am the person that if I buy it and it's wrong and it's a hassle to return, no. I hate returning things. I hate shipping things. I've sold some backpacks because backpacks are expensive, the ones that I like. I have resold some of those, but I hate shipping things. So no, I am not doing that. If it was somebody in my life, like if one of my parents was like, I'll give you $200, just buy this for me, I would do that. I would not do buy thing, try to go to like Facebook Marketplace. That is not my life.
Yep. All right. Yeah, we'll see how the rest of the credits end up shaking out, but like I can see the math I've done for myself for the CSR. I can get full value. I should be able to get full value out of the StubHub credit. I can get full value out of the travel credit. I can get, I've got the $120 Dash Pass membership. I'm good there. Lyft, I should be able to get, let's say $60 minimum. One ride, at least one ride a month over 6 months. DoorDash itself, out of the 300, probably 100. And then, I'll see what else I can get relatively good value out of. But like, even if I get $800, I'm still happy.
Yeah. I've already gotten my Lululemon and Uber One credits. They have already posted to my Platinum, which was very nice.
Yeah. And you've got Resi around and...
Yeah, now that I actually have a couple of places that I would eat that have Resi, I'm excited.
Yeah, the Lyft credit not working outside of the United States is a pain in the ass. Like the MasterCard benefit with Lyft, and you get Hilton points too. Yeah, you can get Hilton points, you can get Bill points, or you can get Alaska Miles. They did change the Alaska Mile earning setup on it, so whatever your jam there is, just make sure you're stacking it. Do I care about Sapphire Lounges or Priority Pass? The
answer is no.
Not
really.
Particularly. If I flew out of LaGuardia more, I would be at that Sapphire Lounge all the time. Flying JetBlue, you don't really get a chance to fly out of LaGuardia too much because JetBlue requires a stopover when you fly out of LaGuardia for whatever stupid reason. So do I attribute any value to that? Not necessarily, but even if I did, I'd be assigning like $10 a visit. If I'm drinking like 2 or 3 cocktails while I'm sitting in the lounge, compared to what I would get those at an airport bar, I could add that to the value, but I have not been drinking alcohol lately. So there's that. But depending on how often I go into the lounge and like what it would be compared to eating a meal in the airport, that could be another way of offsetting it. But $300 travel credit. Next year, I'm probably going to do $500 out of the edit and the 250.
So. Clinton, I know that kid Craig has been to that lounge many times, and he speaks highly of it. So I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, it's the second largest lounge on the network. I need them to keep expanding their lounge network. They've got 3 more on tap. They need to open those relatively quickly, and they've got to announce like the next 5 or 6. Lyft and Uber.
I don't enjoy Lyft as much. Like, I wish I did. I just don't.
It's the same drivers.
It's more like the app and the infrastructure versus the actual like experience with drivers.
Yeah. Lyft Pink is helpful because I signed up for the CSR, the Sapphire Reserve, when you could get 2 years of Lyft Pink All Access and get the third year for 50% off. If they really wanted to fix things, they could renegotiate with Lyft to just give you Lyft Pink, the $99 value as part of the CSR going forward, and the 5x point, and like do the 5x points as well.
It's a kid. A wild kid appears.
Yep. Waymo credit. I mean, if you trust Alphabet to drive you around and not die.
I assume, I don't know. I would think it would be mostly outbound.
Mostly outbound. Delta Sky Clubs are the only ones that allow inbound. Hey, I resemble that remarkable. Not really. Well, kind of.
All right, Matt. Is there anything else? We're at 3 hours. It is nearly midnight. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I think we're good. We covered a lot. I am kind of not sure what to think of the CSR at the moment, but no, we're good. If you guys like what we do, check out the podcast. We record on Monday nights. We release on Wednesdays and Fridays here on YouTube, so you're going to see the questions tomorrow. We do micro mailbag and topics on Monday and Tuesday, but we will talk to you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm the one who controls the stream. Whoops.
Yes, you are.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.